Coffee and tea, I don't. We'll switch back and forth. He has 10,000 gym cards. He pays the gym cards. The coffee and tea.
Hey guys, what's up? Yeah, so yeah, I'm sorry I'm a little bit late on the game right now.
I didn't go. They didn't call me.
Exclusive offers each week, so you can get more of what you love.
I know.
Hey guys, I'm sorry I'm a little bit late right now. On the game.
Of course.
Um,
So you can grab breakfast without breaking your flow. And collecting Tim's rewards points. So enjoying your favorite.
If I didn't have money and I someone else my
So-
Mary, I'd get like
smash that like button.
So, how will you Tim's?
Yes.
Um,
Bleeding gums? Hold on. It could be a sign of gingivitis. Listerine mouthwash contains antibacterial essential oils that kill up to 99.9% of germs.
so yeah,
Listerine, trusted for generations.
And I've done that with certain drivers there. I went out somewhere. I'll grab breakfast this time. You grab the next one. You know what I mean? That's fine. But to constantly have to pay for someone, no. No else is like that? That Christine Landry.
Because they know that brawn can get the job
Oh, no.
done, but it takes brains and brawn to get it done right.
Are you her husband was? I didn't know.
Tough this smart is called F-150.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but she was like that too. She would walk away and she'd walk up, usually
smash that like button
her best friend for a while. She could usually walk up to
because
Lisa quietly and ask her to pay for her meal because she couldn't. Well, why the hell did you come? Why did you come if you don't have enough money to pay for your meal? Because one time we were at a restaurant, we were trying to bistro, and Lisa looked at me. She said, "Is this good yet?" What's happening? I'm going up for a smoke because I don't want to pay for this meal. I'm like, all right. So she took off. She gave me her debit card and she took off. So Christine wouldn't go up and freaking ask her. When you're gonna hide from people, that's pretty bad.
And here comes one of the most athletic catchers you're going to find, JT Realmuto.
Oh yeah.
Who not only is a tremendous athlete,
Oh,
but he
it's
also
right.
has been remarkably consistent offensively in his time in Major League Baseball. His OPS plus has been in the 110s or 120s 6 years running, and that's while playing the what a lot of people
nice
say is the toughest position to play for a fielder. In Major
Especially when
League
it's a
Baseball.
surprise. It's even nicer when it's a surprise.
I mean, you take a beating behind the plate. He's played
Yeah, pretty nice. Yeah.
145, 141, 137 games, 66 already this year of the 84 for the Phillies. And he's in his third straight All-Star selection with obviously no All-Star game last year. But Joe Girardi said the athleticism in part allows him to play Realmuto more behind the plate than the average guy. Check swing and win 1-2. Yeah, that's your point, Jason. Like when you're this good of an athlete, also he's putting a lot of pressure on his body in other aspects of the game. He's trying to go first and third. He's going for first on the double. He's putting a lot of. He's still pacing. So it's all the more impressive because he challenges his body in all these facets of the game.
But you know what? They're probably not the world.
Don't do that. So look at these numbers.
Yeah.
Since 2018, he is the top catcher in WAR,
Yeah.
top catcher
Well,
in
sure we
stolen
have.
bases. His sprint speed, he's not just fast for a catcher. He's in the top 13% of Major League Baseball, reported by StatCast, in sprint speed. So he has quick burst, and he runs very much like
exactly.
an infielder, outfielder.
And when you were in that position, wouldn't it have been nice if someone did that?
Changed much. Then figure out the time, the hamstrings, all the knee injuries, that was just.
No, but it would have been nice. You know what I mean? So you know how she feels.
He's 30 years old now. Realmuto came over from the Marlins after the 2018 season. On 3-2, it's just foul wide of third, says Edwin Moscoso, the third base umpire. And remember, Jason, this signing him was not that easy. It was a very protracted process.
nice.
Guys, I just want to say, congratulations to the Tampa Bay Lightning of winning the two back-to-back Stanley Cup champions.
Alzolay misses down low, and the first base runner tonight for the Phillies is Real Muto to lead off the second.
Yes. There's a difference between helping and a handler. Like, if you continually ask someone to pay for your shit, that's a
Comes up
handler.
for his last 10, always an exceptional
If
defender.
someone's
for the
desperate,
Warriors.
seriously, like, just not financially secure and they need something, that's helping. Yeah. Like, Jen used Robert. She used Robert continually.
Low on Real Muto. How many catchers draw a
I
throw
think
to first before a pitch?
She's never used me because I've never given her the opportunity.
Not many, and it's just shows like the quiet
Is that-
part of the game where you remain an asset.
No.
Right? Alzolay has to pay attention to him. Has to be quick to home. And you put him in motion. You know that he could score or go first
Yeah.
and third on a ball hit.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
it's just a bonus, and it's a significant bonus for a catcher.
Really?
There's a strike to
Oh,
the Warriors. When did you know that you were in a pitcher's head when
That's
you were
crazy.
running at first?
How?
Well, when I took them completely out of their standard rotation, their standard motion,
Paul bought me lunch
the
once.
slide stuff, the quick pitch. You know,
We
hoping
went
that
to
that
Niagara
would
Falls
help
and then
them
the casino
entice
food
them to make
food
more
court there,
mistakes out
and
of
he
the
bought me
plate
lunch.
because they had to throw more
That was
fastballs and then rush to the plate.
On the ground, that's a fair ball past Rizzo off the sidewall. So Didi Gregorius gets himself first to third with Real Muto.
And they're probably in the best position to help you.
Yeah, this ball's hit hard, and given Rizzo was holding on Real Muto, let's go back to that point. He was being tight, and Gregorius smoked him up, so he comes off the line and just could not get the backhand there. And look, he's paying a lot of attention to Rizzo, but he's just a little slow on the draw, which is a little uncharacteristic of Rizzo, but that was hit, and he just could
Especially when he
not get the
doesn't
glove down
reciprocate
in time.
back.
Rizzo, I mean, has been an outstanding defensive first baseman for years, plus 10 or more.
That's nuts.
4 times a defensive run saved over at first in his
Yeah.
Cubs career. As here is Odubel Ferreira, who spent some time at the top of the card for the Phillies,
That's right.
and now is 6th today.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah.
Strike one on a two-seamer from Alzolay. That'll do it for the gloves over at first.
And out there just about every day, over 600 appearances. That one just caught him off guard. And he was
Well,
coming
that's
off
the part that, that's what you do,
Real
right?
Muto, he takes his top step off, and then by the time he looks back, the ball was by him.
Yes.
Slider 0-2 for Herrera. And that also speaks to the contours of Wrigley Field. That sidewalk so close in. Other parts, that might be a double into the corner. Instead, it gives Hayward a chance to play the ricochet in pretty cleanly.
And Hayward is excellent out there in right field. So familiar with the field. If you learn these nooks and crannies, the ball might get stuck under the pads.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes,
there's
you
limited foul territory
Oh,
between
did ya?
right field line or left field line and the foul wall. So you have to know these elements of true ground rules.
Did you ever run face first into the wall in center?
Yeah.
I would not be on this telecast if that did not. So, yeah, I was very aware of the throwback there. And
I don't think
I think Lenny Dykstra once
we can hang out tomorrow.
So, yeah, you don't really mess with the bricks. And eventually learn, how to navigate it.
Oh, yes.
You always know that it's stuck in the ivy, put your hands up right away. So there's just a lot more to it. There's a lot of storytelling behind the ground rules. The basket.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot going on.
Yeah, it's very busy. I'm sure you got beat by the basket once or twice. You thought you had a ball in the basket, took it.
Oh yeah, that's abrasion.
Yeah.
But I understand it, but just
Sorry, baby.
step in the ball in the basket.
I'm sorry, baby.
I didn't work last week. You should. I don't, well, I just worked out. Huh? No, it's for this week. You do it for this week. But I wanna see if they're gonna pay me Canada Day, because technically I worked my last scheduled shift, and I come back and I worked my first scheduled shift. So, I wanna see if they're gonna pay me Canada Day.
Okay. Shay, people might not know this. Well, you're ready for the, who's got the better team?
That's what I mean, and my first day back was Tuesday, and I went. So I did both first and last, so I should be paid for Canada.
Right away.
Yeah, absolutely will. Thank you, Shay.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll get in the local Hernandez injury update later on in the ball game.
Yeah.
0-1 for Alec Ball. Third baseman on the Wichita State, 24-year-old, the Phillies. Real Muto in third, Gregorius in first. And there's the slider with ball on strike.
No, one ball.
Well, Alcala hasn't been able to get to his pitch. He wants to get to that slider. The Phillies have been trying to take that away, trying to get to him early. If he misses his pitches, he has to go back to it. The less that he throws that slider, that white guy slider, the Phillies feel like they can be aggressive on the fastball.
Set up outside from Chirinos, and he misses outside with a fastball. 2-1 to a former first-round pick Ball.
So guys, so it's the top of the second with it's no score right now. And the
I mean, he's just showing that he has the potential to be a high average hitter, a good contact guy, once he kind of holds it all together.
Nice take there on the slider that bent below the zone.
Oh, is he
One with Travis Jankowski on deck.
It's a good distance off the plate.
Yeah.
And
I don't know.
Otherwise, trying to figure out how he can get that outer corner.
Yeah.
But with the sinker slider, he has a good shot at trying to get the ground ball, which is what he's looking for here. He's looking for the double play. So 3-1 with that sinker.
Threw him a slider, 3-2.
Yeah.
That's a great pitch there. It's a ball pitch. Because early on, he hasn't been able to use it as much to get the field, but throws it in a perfect location.
Throw him another slider here. What do you think?
You gotta have a lot of confidence off that pitch, and he hasn't been able to use it as much as he'd like. So I say, yeah, go for it.
3-2, 1 out. He did strike three to throw to second, and the time back home is not in time. Oh, a daring throw through by Chirinos, and Real Muto. There's the athleticism of the Phillies catcher coming home on a high-risk throw by Chirinos, and it's 1-0 Phillies.
He made the effort trying to get through, but that's the risk. You have to know your base runners, and this is exactly your point, Jason, about who's on third. When he throws it in sales, when you have to make it short, the ball's cut off by Alvarez. I mean, no chance. And tough shot on the knee there. The catchers, they don't want to let they know. But looking for sales high, you got to make sure that you're going to get the runner there. Otherwise, the speedy guy's going to score easily.
I'll see that's two. Part of, and David Ross is out with the training staff to check on Chirinos. I know it's a bang momentary play, so there's a lot rolling through your mind, but you gotta know
Guys,
two, right, Josh?
is one.
Oh my God.
It's really 1-0. Yeah.
I just say yes. Or no, if I can't, If I can't do it, I'll say no. But I say yes if I can.
Guys, smash the like button. You know what I mean. So the Phillies all winning right now, 1-0.
I did that today because I have an appointment in tomorrow, and it includes this week.
On the ground,
So I
second
did,
base,
I
and that
59
for Warner, and that will do it. But the Phillies will take the run on the throw through with a walk and a single.
Yeah. So.
And Didi Gregorius in motion does.
Yeah,
Sets
so
up the first
you know what? That's an extra $120
Yeah, great
a
baseball.
week. You know what I mean?
Cause I don't know who's going coming on here.
But I don't go by how much I'm getting paid. I go by, oh my God, I'm so bored. Give me work. It gets me out. It gets me doing stuff.
Guys, smash that like button, boys. Smash that like button.
So I don't know why he
You know what I mean?
You're getting this, you're getting that.
Choose Esso's new Synergy Supreme, the premium fuel that keeps your engine 3 times cleaner for more kilometers
Seniority
per
is
tank.
near you. I don't know about Mike. I don't know how long he's been.
Keeps us young. It takes us on adventures. And it keeps us dreaming of that one perfect shot. Whatever the reason, come out and play.
I've heard her speak to the people
Keeping
at
a smile
Columbia,
healthy
and I'm
between dental
surprised she
visits
hasn't
is
been fired.
important. The Waterpik Water Flosser removes plaque from treated areas. Brushing alone.
Guys, hope you guys like the video.
Water Flosser cleans the areas brushing may miss. Go to waterpik.ca to learn more.
Looks like Sean and Andrea just bought a place.
That was quick.
They've been in Crestry for a while. The lower fees make a big difference. If you're ever gonna move, you gotta get moving.
It's time to switch to Crestry.
Hey guys, smash that like button. You know what I mean.
A little bit of this
Yeah.
protects you
Oh, for sure.
from a lot of that.
She could have been fired right
Keep
then
your
and there
car
for
clean
that.
longer. Armor All Extreme Shield Plus Ceramic. You can play a normal game, or you can make it 2.0. Light tasting sleep and clear 2.0 has 80 calories and 2 grams.
Guys, I'll be back.
Why do you guys have Columbia and it's pretty much all from different races? That's the worst way to drive for.
Future Beat starts at 3 Eastern Pacific on MLB Network with the MLB Draft on ESPN.
Well, one of the drivers told me, I can't remember which driver it is, but someone told me at that golf thing that we did a couple years ago, even Brian showed up to do like an evening help, whatever, after a Turner. They sell alcohol on them.
Guys, I will be back. I'm gonna plug my phone in. Still put my laptop in. Guys, I'll be back. I'm just going to go to Tim Hortons and I'll be back.
That's crazy.
Pete Alonso versus Vlad Guerrero Jr. 2019 in Cleveland was an outstanding show. No Vlad Jr. He opted out this year, but some of the names: Joey Gallo, Juan Soto, Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani versus Soto round 1. Get there.
Well, I love the story hitting in Colorado. I mean, come on. I mean, this is going to be a blast. Alonzo, champ, Mancini, what a beautiful story. Survivor, cancer, incredible.
And then right back to the baseball diamond. I mean, what he has been through to get back on the field, and people talk about rehabbing injuries, whatever it might be. That treatment will just knock you around. It's popped up to second base. Segura makes the catch for out number 1, and up comes Nico Hoerner, who's a really interesting guy for this Cubs team. He's 24 years old. He's been on the injured list
It's a lot to love about his game. I mean, he plays with grit, but he plays with high instincts for the game. And whether it's the baseline, where to throw the ball, positioning, making contact, he's been clutch in terms of runners in scoring position, and just a sponge at learning. So David Ross has raved about it since he's been up, and he's had to fight his way. He was sent down, a little disappointed, but he ended up just getting better for it and taking advantage of the opportunity. So I can see him being a mainstay in this lineup.
He's hit the ball very well since he's come back. He's got a couple of multi-hit games in his 3 since the stint on the injured list. Jam job inside from Eflin to Horner.
I mean, he's tough for 2 strikes, and he kind of has a sense of staying through the ball, still on the attack, but yet compact enough to make contact.
In the air, left field side. That's a long run that won't end fruitfully for Jankowski. It's a Horner single out of the grass and left.
That's what I'm talking about, Jason. His ability to sort of work the 2 strikes. That's a tough pitch, a very good pitch by Eflin, and he spoils it. But does more than that, he's able to get on base off of it. And they're playing with 2 strikes, a little shifted towards right field, so Jankowski has no chance of getting there. Now look at the shift there. They're pretty far over, so he's so deep in the gap there, trying to get in. And Jankowski has exceptional speed.
The other thing this does, Doug, including the 4 plate appearances of 6+ pitches for the Cubs, is it forces the Phillies earlier into the bullpen tonight. And this bullpen has been somewhat flammable the last couple of years for Joe Girardi.
It has, and he likes his starting rotation. He knows it's an asset, but getting overtaxed by what the Cubs are doing tonight.
To the right field, Harper is back on it to make the play. Nice catch, and 2 down. Hey, since we last talked to Shay, I think the Brewers put some runs up. We'll see what she's got. Shay?
They did indeed put 2 runs up. We're going to talk Dodgers. Looking to snap a 3-game losing streak today against the Marlins, and they have Julio Urias to thank for taking care of business. He allowed a leadoff home run and then proceeded to pitch a shutout. 7 innings, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts. Urias now 11-3, and the first pitcher in baseball to reach 11 wins this season. The Dodgers win 6-1. That's the friendly confines.
Thank you, Shay. Really appreciate it. And there is your Brewers score. That ominous not a zero put up in the bottom of the first inning means the Brewers have hit for a while. You remember that as a kid? You look at the scoreboard, you go, "Wow, I wonder what the number's going to be."
Right, exactly. You watch it, and you're waiting. Something is big and crooked.
Yeah, it was the in-play runs of the 1990s. Now you're watching the MLB app and it says in-play runs. We'll break the suspense and tell you Milwaukee's got at least 2 in the bottom of the first.
They've done that a lot in the last 30 days. This team has played really well, and their pitching and their offense is starting to come around.
Willie Thomas is going to
I know.
for the Brewers.
Every time we go there, we go to the games, and she's like bringing a bottle.
3-0, and Eflin can't afford to lose him.
Yeah, the pitch count is up to 43 at this point.
Yeah.
And so he's already running in jeopardy of not really even getting into the 6th inning. It's a lot of pitches. And this is the one thing the Cubs, even though they have not scored, they're looking forward, saying this is an effective 2 innings of play.
He missed inside, ball 4, and Alzolay, who's 1 for 22 this year, takes a 4-pitch walk.
And it's very uncharacteristic of Eflin, as we mentioned, the command coming in.
Here's the only thing
13 walks on the season. He actually has given up more home runs than walks. So he is a command guy. And no worse time to lose that command than the pitcher hitting and turning over the lineup, given he's already at 44 pitches. So this is an inefficiency nightmare right now. And it'd be critical for him to try to get Peterson
Peterson saw 6 pitches in his first at bat. First one down and away, ball 1. All right, so as a hitter, you've seen 5 straight balls on deck and then 1 to you. When are you thinking swing here? What are you thinking?
Well, if I'm Peterson, I'm swinging because this guy has so much raw power, and if he just makes good contact on something he's looking for, it's going out. So he's swinging if he can. You know, for me, I was a contact guy. So I would have taken a pitch there. I was not known to walk, but I would take my pitches when I knew that someone was up against the ropes, and it would only help raise his pitch count.
Jock Peterson is a fastball hitting machine, and he's seen slider changeup so far. Yeah, this at bat, 2-0. There you see, highest slugging percentage on high velocity fastballs. It's 735.
Yeah. He hunts. I mean, he really is a hunter. When he finds his pitch, he doesn't miss a lot. He puts good swings on it.
With a slider at 90, a hard slider that never was close to the plate.
And he still will come out of his shoes right here 3-0 if he gets the fastball. I mean, he is waiting for it the entire at bat.
Slider, changeup, slider. 3-0 to Peterson. Oh, he took a fastball at the knees.
Not going to see that one again. He's like, all right, now you get another slider. They'll take their chances with wisdom. Let's see.
That was spun on the breaking ball. It's a curveball, and it's called a strike by Dreckman behind the plate.
This is a fantastic pitch. I mean, 3-1, and he can throw that kind of curveball. I mean, hair outside, but wow, right on the edge. I mean, it might have just, like, the mosquito might have got his whiskers knocked off there.
It was flirtatious with the strike zone. Here's number 50 from Eflin. And he just got a piece of another curveball in his back shoe. This is why you swing at the 3-0 fastball, right, Doug?
I mean, he doesn't want to give him one, which makes sense. It's too much damage he does. And you have wisdom on deck, and that's not exactly a walk in the park, but, you know, his righty, he's going to feel a little bit better in some ways, but he has great stuff for lefties and righties, so he's confident in his secondary pitches against Peterson.
Payoff again. On the ground is second base, Segura. Adds the inning, and the Phillies get out of major trouble. We'll go to third, 1-0, the visitors at Wrigley.
We can't make your kids' hair grow back quicker, but we can straighten your smile for less than $4 a day. Go from this to this. Get started for free at smilebeachclub.ca. With the Bell Wi-Fi pods, work from anywhere you want. From the office, from the kitchen, from the bedroom, from the living room, from the balcony, from the garage. With the Bell Wi-Fi pods,
Okay. No, I'm not, and both my kids had Maduro first, and then they had Pfizer second, and they did Simultaneous. The only one I find that is probably
He reminds you that we are at Wrigley Field in Chicago for tonight's game. All the Cubs who are one game under 500, 43-44, and just broke an 11-game losing streak yesterday coming against the Phillies as the Phillies lead in the top of the third, 1-0. We thank you for joining us. Ben Blanco, Jason Benetti, our entire wonderful crew. Roland Moore, our producer, Ed Curran, our director. Ivan Sikorsky, our statistician. Ivan does, I think, 304 games a year. It's good to have him along for this one. And so, look, this Cubs team, Doug, they've lost 11 in a row, and it is very rare to make the playoffs with such a long losing streak. The Cubs would be only the fourth team to make the playoffs. The 17 Dodgers, Phil Niekro and Dale Murphy, and the 82 Braves, and the 51 Giants all lost 11 in a row to make the playoffs. But, I mean, you look, the night of that combined no-hitter the Cubs had before this losing streak started, they were tied for first. So, yes, things can change very quickly, but you have the artificial deadline with the final day of July and the whole trade situation.
Well, that's the point, Jason. It's timing. And it could not happen at a worse time for the Cubs, given that they're trying to make decisions about buyers or selling.
Eflin in the air to right, and Jason Hayward is there to make the catch. I mean, late June, you're tied for first place. Now, the beginning of the second week of July, you're in third place, and you're 8.5 back. So, yeah, it's a troubling time. And Jed Hoyer said before the game, life comes at you fast, and it's not an internet meme. It's true for the Cubs.
A 2-week period, you see, that's a 12.5 game swing. 12.5. So not only the timing was bad, but it was also with the division leader, the Brewers, getting as hot as they got. So, that is the worst nightmare scenario. And tough decision for Jed Hoyer and company, just figuring out, do we still make moves? And yeah, you can try to, maybe you have a 11-game winning streak, but it's after the deadline. That's the problem. That deadline is looming, and the decisions have to be made very quickly.
Over a couple years ago, I bring this up because you can plan it with the deadline as well. Jaime Garcia, it was 2017. The Twins traded for Jaime Garcia. They gave up Huascar Ynoa, who ended up being very good at the start of this year for the Braves. This is first base side, and it ends up foul. It was July 24th that year. The Twins traded for Jaime Garcia. 6 days later, they had a bad West Coast trip, and they traded him away to the Yankees.
Well, there's a point to be made about maybe making the move early if you can. Though maybe that's not exactly positive thinking when you do something like that. But you trade him again.
Yeah, there's danger in being too reactionary, and there's danger in being too conservative. As there's strike three, 2 down for Alzolay here in the third. A lot of goings on in Milwaukee. Shay, what's your update?
Yeah, let's see what's going on elsewhere in the NL Central, shall we? Bases loaded for the Brewers. And Arizona Garcia hits let's just call this an infield roller. That scores one. Then it was a Jace Peterson walk that scored the second run. 2-0 Brewers, top of the second. Reds do have the bases loaded right now with 1 out, though. But Eddie, back to you.
Jay, thank you very much. Jesse Winker at the plate right now for Cincinnati. Hey, Doug, Cincinnati can hit now.
Well, they were very disappointing, and the talent that they had did not match how they were able to hit last season. So they're kind of coming back around, but they've always had this dangerous offense that just was on paper last season. And they still had great pitching to allow them to get to the postseason. So, they're coming back. That's not a team you want to pitch to. Castillo's pitching well. There's a lot of things going right for Cincinnati in that regard.
2-0. Brad Miller, a fly ball to left, and this ball is gone. A cannon shot for Miller, and he doubles the lead.
Yeah, Miller has kind of found new life here after a rough June where he hit 059. He's coming up to a good July, but he's always had the pop. This is part of his skill set, and does a great job of staying on a ball that's running away from him. Look at this next two-seam running away. Look at his head position. I mean, he's committed to the opposite field, didn't try to pull it or roll over. He stayed through it and took advantage of the short gap. And sends the souvenir. Nice play, by the way. Nice play. What a hand. Oh,
And the celebratory hat.
yeah.
It's a good play. Line drive into center. That one sort of knuckled on Ortega. I want to ask you about a ball like that at Wrigley when we come back. Miller a home run. Ortega an adventure. Put on your hat.
This is a Boston Pizza patio. It's like an indoor table, outdoors. You eat that like a sandwich you've made. We made. Yeah, here. It comes out of our taps instead of your fridge. Those are your going out jeans. They're for fashion. That's a coaster. It's like a chair for your drink. See, we're getting it. And we have all summer to practice. Get ready. BP Patio is back.
Oh, Mexican sauce was brutal. But you can try some fancy massaging. See, ooh, yeah, that's nice.
Can I use like a carpet with some music on?
Sure, it's wireless. What's your nearest Wi-Fi password?
It's a Buick Envision.
That's a really tight spot. I used to hate parallel parking. Me too.
The all-new Buick Envision, built around you, all of you. Right now, you pay what we pay. Get employee pricing on the all-new 2021 Envision Avenue. Visit Buick.ca. When your friends say, "Come over, we're having a beer," the correct answer is, "I'm already here."
Don't you think? Definitely.
90 calories, 3 grams of carbs. Miller Lite.
Our Rub A535 lab tests all sorts of pain, like back pain and injury pain, even muscle and joint pain. That's better. Whatever the pain, there's Rub A535.
How do you go from the best to the ultimate? We choose the big, bold, ultimate taste of ultimate chicken hot dogs and ultimate chicken sausages. Choose ultimate. Only from Maple Lodge Farms.
Thank you so much for the answer. We're going to look back at the point. Hanging is to show hatred and inspire terror. These ain't no terrorists.
First pitch foul for Patrick Wisdom. And strike one here in the bottom of the third. Doug Glanville, Jason Benetti, thank you for joining us. With the Cubs and Phillies at Wrigley Field tonight. And the Phillies had their home run hat, which was originally purchased by Archie Bradley. And they liked it, bought a couple of more. And now we have a thing. The Phillies dugout.
It's kind of the opposite of blatant swag. It's kind of the reverse swag. I like it psychologically. I like it.
Yeah, it looks very Adventure Island-ish. Like, the boat has docked at New Port of Call. Let's see what there's to do. 1-2 for Eckler. Wisdom takes 2 balls, 2 strikes. I want to ask you in a moment after this at bat here about that ball that ended up in center field, because I know you've had balls like that Ortega had to come in on and then go back on, and I have to imagine there's some panic.
A lot of panic. Well, you know, some hitters, especially squared up, it gives you this like knuckle effect. So look at this ball, like it's dancing on you, and you can't tell where it's going. Similar to a knuckleball, without that spin, so you have to stay through it and make sure you don't overcommit. And I always thought there were certain hitters that did that more than others. It seems like Harper does hit a lot of knuckleballs, given just squaring it up.
Focus to first for out number one. So how does it look different to you? You say it dances. How does the track differ from a normal fly ball?
But it's almost like it's taking almost like a firefly, right? It's going all over the place. And if you're chasing a fly, you don't really know exactly what its move's going to be. So that's pretty scary coming at 100 miles an hour, and it could actually take a right turn on you. So, most balls have spin that you can read well and tell, okay, it's going to hook away, it's going to sink, it's going to, go to the left or right. You can kind of play it. But when a knuckleball is hit at you, just like trying to hit it as a hitter, it's highly unpredictable. And at that speed, anything can happen. So you really have to watch that ball go into your glove.
High fastball for Rizzo, 0-2, and Eflin has found his footing after nearly causing himself some trouble in the second inning by walking the pitcher, Alzolay, on 4.
And he has to find his efficiency so he can go deep. A lot of two-strike pitchers did a nice job of going up the ladder there.
2 down, Shea Burnett at the studio. They're coming faster.
They really are. Brewers up 2-0 here, top of the second. Adrian Howard yet again getting out of the jam. He strikes out Winkler, Castellanos. He's doing the road with those bases loaded. Brewers still up 2-0. Let's go NL Central to AL Central here. Tigers and Twins, and Eric Hawk. He's going to send a 2-run blast way out of the ballpark. That puts the Tigers on the board. Hawk now has 13 homers in only 41 games. Score is still 2-0. Top of the fifth.
Shea, thank you very much. Doug, you and I had the Tigers earlier this year, and AJ Lynch said to us, I got platoon splits as far as the day is long, and I can't really do a whole lot with it. His pitching staff is pitching a whole lot better right now. The Tigers are playing some good baseball.
Yeah, they're playing well. The Rule 5 story, the 2, like how well he's really stayed and got a Rule 5 guy, keep him in the big leagues. Like he was leading off the other day, so seems to be getting a lot out of the team. There's a lot of uncertainty.
Young knocking up on Cleveland in the AL Central for second place. I mean, they're just a couple of games back of the Indians starting play today with Cleveland losing 9 in a row. In the air, third base side, and this will find its way to your seats.
Yeah, and that's what, coming into this inning, had 51 pitches. You see where he's at 64 now, but the number of two-strike pitches was 22 out of that original 51 coming in. So he's up to 27 now out of the 64. So he's working a lot with 2 strikes, but they're also higher counts. It's not just 0-2.
1-2 is a put-away strike 3 for Jason Hayward and a much-needed 1-2-3 inning. No, well, I think they say you got a piece of it. I think they're going to say you got a piece, and it flipped the dirt. So this at-bat will stay alive. Let's see. Ooh.
Yeah. Well, Jason Hayward brought his attorney in to make a very good case and won that case.
The appeals process was quick there.
Real quick. The count's not a argument, but he sort of made his case and then boom. He's like, okay, that's good.
What did you think of that? Did you think you got a piece of it?
Not by that replay. No.
That is strike 3, and that is strikeout number 5 for Eflin. 2-0 Phillies. Real Muto leads it off, and we come back in the fourth.
Okay, John going old school on his butt.
Space Jazz, July 16th.
It's the 30-minute blue can taste like let it flow. Reach all the way up.
Check your vibe. It's free on the app. New members only. Terms apply. Our Rub A535 lab tests all sorts of pain, like back pain, and injury pain, out, even muscle and joint pain. That's better. Whatever the pain, there's Rub A535.
You can play a normal game. You can make it 2.0. Life Tasting Sleeping Clear 2.0 has 80 calories and 2 grams of carbs. Why not make it 2.0?
The Ford Escape. Built to see the city in a whole new way. Get great financing rates plus no charge all-wheel drive on this Escape.
Welcome to Bet99.net, where we fill every day with the glamour and excitement of a real-life casino. With progressive jackpots like Mega Moolah, the hottest slots, and all your favorite live casino games free to play. See why Bet99.net is where Canadians come to play.
MLB and T-Mobile are bringing an all-new Derby experience to fans with the MLB AR app. This augmented reality app provides unprecedented 3D views and ball tracking for the T-Mobile Home Run Derby on ESPN July the 12th. Download today at MLB.com/AR. I know it's Home Run Derby time. By the way, happy birthday. I know it's Home Run Derby time because Mike Petriello, I had a missed call from him, and I had like 7 emails from him about our ESPN2 StatCast show of the Derby coming up in Coors Field. So if you were to pick your favorite, if I said other than Shohei Ohtani, because he's one seed, who would you pick in this Derby?
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I mean, it's hard not to go with like a Joey Gallo. I mean, he might hit 103 home runs. He's a beast. So
I like the possible Juan Soto upset in the first round against Ohtani.
okay. Oh, you like him? You're calling it upset? Nice.
Maybe.
I do my scouting report. You check it out. Check the weather in Colorado. It's going to be a really fun one. I mean, just some talented power hitters that
And great folks, I mean, watching Guerrero Jr. and Alonso 2 years ago, and watching them essentially call and answer each other in those rounds, and watching, my favorite part of the Derby, Doug, is watching the players admire each other.
Yeah. No, it's a great time of camaraderie. Everybody coming together, just being kids again and admiring the game for a pure form. Just great players doing great things, and that respect is there because it is a brotherhood. You know, you play against a lot of guys, and sometimes they're your teammates, sometimes they get traded, moved. And if you have the gift of being playing a long time, you get to know a lot of players throughout the league, and this is where the stars shine the brightest, and you want to support each other.
Realmuto with foul ball. JT Realmuto scored the first run of the ball game. He was at third base when Gregorius stole second on a strikeout at ball. Chirinos, the Cubs catcher, threw through to second base. And then Realmuto rushed home for the first run.
Right, we were saying he lets it go through. Maybe they can walk Jankowski. Eflin's hitting, and hasn't had a hit in 30 days. I don't know if he had a hit this season. You know, that was the strategy that was missed, that you have to think multiple steps ahead. You know, Gregorius is fast. He's making it fairly comfortably. It had to be a perfect throw, and you have a speed guy at third. You know, it's just not a good choice to throw that ball.
Realmuto to right. Hayward toward the wall. Hayward up against the wall, and Hayward is not going to have a play.
Yeah, the tough thing about Wrigley Field and those lines and how close they are to the wall is that when a ball's hit down the line, you know, if you come at it too aggressively in a sharp angle, almost like you would a center fielder, and that ball gets by you, I mean, it's gone. And then you hit the wall, now you have to redirect. You don't have room to kind of bow out and change direction. You have to stop and then go after the ball. So I would say, any double that you know is a double, you try to turn into a single by cutting it off, turns into a triple.
Tight slider for strike three. Alzolai's fourth strikeout on the eighth pitch of the at-bat. Shea Cornette in the studio. What you got?
Padres and Nationals, and Trey Turner taking on former Cub here, Yu Darvish. That one is going to be out of here. By the way, Trey Turner, a first-round pick by the Padres in 2014. It is 1-0. Top the third. Yeah.
Shea, thank you very much. Trey Turner, second hitter of the ball game in a 1-0 lead over the Padres, and that is a wonderful race in the NL West, by the way, Doug.
And also, by the way, Trey Turner is one of the best players in baseball. We talk about he's highly underrated. I mean, speed, power, average. I mean, defense. This guy is a superstar.
Yeah, he's an exceptional talent. Trey Turner for the Nationals team, hitting ahead of Juan Soto. Turner still just 28 years old. They've had some very good young shortstops come through Washington in a short time in the nation's capital. They've been here and a half.
The thing that's interesting about Gregorius this season, he's hitting 300 when he's behind in the count. But that's actually his best average in the sequence. He's actually hitting 195 when he's ahead. So he's done much better when he's working against the stream in the rubber here. And it's something you want to fix because when you finally do the work to get the count in your advantage, you want to take advantage. That's what he's not doing this season.
What do you think it is? Do you think it's hand position? Do you think the types of pitches he's seeing? What would your guess be?
Well, there's times you get over anxious because you're like, okay, I got my count now, and then you don't zone up, you don't kind of still be disciplined within your zone. You start chasing, you expanding, and now fastballs are so much less guaranteed than ever in today's game. The more and more you see, 2-0 breaking balls, 2-1 breaking ball, and so you have to still keep that zone. As soon as you feel defensive in a hitter's count, it feels like it defeats the purpose.
You get the sense of feeling defensive in the batter's box?
You do. You do. And a lot of times the count may do that.
Another foul ball for Gregorius. Still 1-2. Let's see a seventh pitch. That's 4 straight foul balls for Gregorius.
Yeah, Jay, a lot of times, these at bats kind of get lost. It's like, 1-2 count, you may make it out, but he's pushing him and his pitch count. When you're one hitter, you're going 7-8 pitches deep. You're shaving off a half an inning off of the pitcher's out.
Center field, long run, and Ortega's not going to get there. Didi Gregorius is 2 for 2. He's broken an 0 for 10 in a big way tonight.
Well, this is a really nice piece of hitting because you see the slide. Look at the spin. It's coming back, and he stays through it. A little slice to it, but short and compact. Just kind of fights it through. Quick stroke, and you see the slice and the trajectory of the ball ran away towards the gap away from Ortega, and he found himself a double.
Well, I will say, the Cubs are not rolling the dice poorly by playing Gregorius to pull. Considering his home run power over the past couple of years, to have him go opposite way is a little bit shocking because his home runs since 2016 have all come to right field or that lonely boy at center.
Maybe the right field stands was closed on that center field one. Like, what happened on that one?
That's right. There was caution tape around it.
Now look at the center fielder here. Ortega trying to cut off, but he's playing cheating over the right center. And can't cut off, but that's, like you said, the right position. You take it away where he hits the ball the most, and he just did a good job of beating Alzolai by slicing it all to left center.
All probability of Didi Gregorius Hernandez, the Renaissance man of the Phillies, is at second base with one out for Herrera, who has been a very free swinger in this ball game so far.
The thing about Herrera this season is that a lot of his hits and his ability to be consistent in getting hits up into the opposite field. He's actually hitting over 540 when he goes to left field. And what it's done is it's taken away his power. You see there's not a lot of pop in those numbers compared to what he's capable of. He's not able to turn on the ball and get the success he's looking for. So if he's taking his hits, he's going the opposite field. And if this is the case, you want to drive a run in, especially with two strikes. He wants to focus more on middle of the field to the opposite field where he's had a lot of success this season.
Part of that success when he's had it this year is that he's got the lowest whiff rate of his career as well. We've seen a couple swings and misses tonight, but he's knocked that down to about 20% this year. Well below league average. Contact there. It's his second base on the grass for a corner. And that puts Gregorius at third with two down. Let's go to the studios. Jake Cornett, what do you have?
Thanks, Jason. Next in Padres, Yu Darvish here on the bump, and it was Trey Turner first, now John Galt with a two-run double. It is 3-0 right now. Guys, back to you.
3 and 4 from San Diego. Padres, Dodgers, Giants all bottleneck for the top three. 4.5 separating the three teams in the NL West that are in the race.
Well, Alzolay had a pretty efficient evening in terms of getting through innings fairly quickly despite the 2 runs. But this inning he's now up to his 21st pitch. And this has been in the inning that gives him a trouble. He has a 6 ERA in the fourth with 7.15 ERA in the fifth. He has to establish how he can get through these types of innings.
And he's got a guy now, Gold, who's got the best hard hit rate in this lineup tonight. He's walked a bunch recently, and he also, when he makes contact, can light up the baseball. He gets on 2-0. It's a breaking ball called a strike.
That's out. And you see Alzolay going back to the slot 2-0. I mean, just way outside. So, missed call there by Bruce. But he's trying to show that he's comfortable with the slider to throw it at any count for strikes.
Leader down low, 3-1 to Paul, who's been really unlucky on fastballs this year. His expected slugging percentage, specifically on fastballs, is 150 points ahead of his slugging percentage on those fastballs. Looks like a Batman movie. At Wrigley Town. Slider 3-2.
As a hitter, this is a tough one because he throws the 2-0 slider, he gets the strike, then he throws a fastball, misses wildly, and then he comes back with the slider, and it's 3-2 count. And it seems like this slider he has considerably more command now, and the pitch that's usually his wipeout pitch, his out pitch, he's trying to use for command. And this is how he's a little bit off his game, but he's still making himself competitive and still keeping the Cubs in this game.
His 25th pitch of the inning is a swing and a miss. Hard slider at 88, and the inning is over. We told you the draft's coming up on Sunday. Our draft expert, Kylie McDaniel, well dressed as always. He will join us to talk draft after this.
Each of us has a different story, but this family isn't about where you come from. It's about where you're going. On the surface, we are all unique, but deep down, we share the same spirit of adventure. There's only one family and one community quite like ours. Jeep, Canada's best-selling 4x4 SUV brand. pre-owned Grand Cherokee. Order this for as low as $249 bi-weekly for 39 months with $2,495 down.
Every day, add a touch of silver. Wear it anytime. With everything, it's your new go-to. Discover everyday elegance today at Michael Hill.
Chill out this summer with a soft serve for just $1 or a mini shake for just $2. Choose from vanilla, strawberry, or Hershey's chocolate flavors. Made from 100% Canadian dairy. Stay cool with a $1 soft serve or a $2 mini shake at Burger King.
Phillies are up 2-0 on the top, bottom of the fourth in the MLB draft coming up on Sunday, 7 Eastern here on ESPN. And we're joined by our draft guru, Kylie McDaniel. Hi, Kylie. How you doing?
Thanks for having me on.
Great to have you. Normally around this time, just before the draft, we know who the number one pick is going to be very likely. What gives this year with 1-1?
Yeah, the last 3 years we've had Adley Rutschman with Baltimore, Casey Mize, Spencer Torkelson with Detroit. We're both known, I would say, months in advance, maybe in the beginning of the season, back in January, February, as very likely 90% chance, whatever you want to say. This year we're at maybe 50-60% that Marcelo Meyer would be the pick on Sunday, and that's about as high as we can go. And I think no pick beyond that is even 50%. And it's due to the rules that we have in the draft right now, where every dollar is capped, so every dollar saved you can spend somewhere else, gives you an advantage over other teams. And this year there is a top tier of anywhere from 6 to 8 players that are sort of seen as basically the same. So because no player has given out their number yet to a team yet, that'll probably happen this weekend. No team decided what order they'll pick the players in. Prices are much more important this year with the talent so close.
How difficult has it been on scouting departments over this past calendar year plus? What's different about this draft because of the circumstances?
Yeah, there's a couple tricky things. We have a ton of 22-year-old college starters. Typically, 21 is the age we see the best college starters. And we have those because last year was a 5-round draft. So a lot of guys didn't go drafted just because they weren't those extra rounds and extra pool money to make them eligible. And we've also had a lot of issues where I would say the high school summer events probably had 2/3, 3/4 of a normal summer. The college guys had 5 or 10% of a full summer. So especially hitters, mid-major, guys that really benefit from summer with Team USA or the Cape, they are way behind right now. And I think a lot of them will look back at 4 or 5 years from now and say that guy went 15 picks too late just because he was at Wright State, Eastern Illinois, whatever it is, and didn't get that whole summer on the Cape to really start the year in the middle of the first round and put in a position for where he could go.
And Kylie, I was drafted in 1991. What have you seen in the evolution of the draft that now shapes what is going on in 2021, nearly 30 years later?
I've talked to scouts about this because I don't want to date myself or date you, but we'll just say before you were drafted, it was very common, I've been told, for area scouts to have a player go in the second round from your area and not even have heard the kid's name before. And these days, the internet has heard of everyone that goes in the top 5 rounds, with maybe one exception, one sort of out of nowhere JUCO guy that pops up out of nowhere. So just like knowing the names has drastically changed. Mostly because we showcase baseball in college summer leagues getting better at sort of picking the right players. And the other part of it is that you can guess everywhere else in baseball. Analytics revolution has exploded. I would say half of the big summer events, college and high school, have TrackMan, Rapsodo, Blast Motion, all these sorts of things, measuring everything to the nth degree. And so all the stuff we're talking about with high spin fastballs and curveballs and stuff, we're talking about it with kids that are 16 to 18 years old as well.
Base hit for Ortega here, and 1 on, 1 out for the Cubs. We're joined by Kylie McDaniel, MLB draft expert here at ESPN. So we have the Phillies and Cubs here. We have a mock draft coming out tomorrow. Who are these two teams tied to for you?
interesting spot. As I mentioned, this is sort of a 6 to 8 player top tier of the draft, so they're well clear of that. But we'll get to pick from that second tier of players. A name that's been tied to them, I think, all throughout the spring, and maybe their most likely pick is also who I have them taking Benny Montgomery, a high school center fielder from the Harrisburg area of Pennsylvania. And to give you a visual, his swing kind of looks like Hunter Pence. I think if a casual fan just saw Benny Montgomery swing one time, they'd be like, oh, that kind of looks like Hunter Pence. And they have even more upside as just a really tooled out center fielder that just has a funky swing that has worked at every level so far. It works against 90 or gold bats and probably needs to be adjusted a little bit, but it works. So I think we'll probably get to play that. He's certainly in their mix of their team. And the club they have been taking Florida center fielder Joe Fabian. He's a pretty polarizing player, had a lot of swing and miss issues this year, has changed his swing a couple times throughout the year, but has massive upside, chance to hit 30 home runs and play center field. So it's worth the risk at the juncture with the Cubs are picking over the 21st.
Kylie, how would you describe sort of how nimble the draft is in terms of evaluating talent? Because when there's discussion about the game to try to have more contact or shifting defenses, and all the ways that the game would change, this ripples down to this level where you're evaluating talent through the lens of what a good major leaguer would be. So you talk about launch angles, you talk about spin rate. What do you think those changes would be?
Well, there's a 4-6-3 double play. Kylie, hang on. Phillies just turned 2. Segura to Gregorius to Miller. They're going to the 5th inning. We eagerly anticipate Kylie's answer to that question. 2-0 Phillies.
Just tell me what I need to know. Where is it?
It's on the beach at Ocean Views. It was supposed to be a surprise. She doesn't like surprises, Dave. Thanks, Captain Obvious. Booking a trip can feel dramatic, but with pre-cancellation, you can't go wrong with Hotels.com.
Our Rubby 535 lab tests all sorts of pain, like back pain and injury pain, even muscle and joint pain. That's better. Whatever the pain, there's Rubby 535.
How will you know you've made it? Will you look the part? Will you be able to feel it? Will you be able to do more than you thought you could? Or will your next destination already be in sight behind the wheel of your GMC Terrain? Employee pricing is back. Get up to $2,000 total price adjustments on the 2021 Terrain by City Elevation, or up to $3,900 on the 2021 Acadia Denali.
When your friends say, come over, we're having a beer, the correct answer is, I'm already here.
Don't you think?
90 calories, 3 grams of carbs. Miller Lite.
Corey and McGregor collide once again for the 3rd time in their intense rivalry. But first, the UFC's rising stars face off for a shot at elite contention. One night, one cage, no turning back. UFC 264 prelims, Saturday on TSN. 2-0 Phillies. MLB draft expert Kylie McDaniel is with us with the draft starting on Sunday, 7 Eastern on ESPN. Doug, if you'd like to break, you were asking Kylie a question.
Yeah, I was curious about, there's so much discussion about baseball and how you can improve the game. As you see, excellent bunt here.
Alcala is not going to get there.
And then think about how the impact on the amateur level would be when we change the game and the priorities of the game. No home runs, to focus on velocity and so on. I mean, how nimble do you think the scouting is and the draft would be around how the culture of the game would change?
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you, I think it was 5 years ago when Bo Bichette and Kyle Lewis came out, and there were teams that were like, oh, those swings are too big, that's not going to work. And just didn't consider. That's how Bo Bichette got in the middle of the 2nd round. because his tools belonged a lot earlier. And then like 2 years later, when it seemingly everyone in the big leagues was taking advantage of swings like that, all of a sudden anybody with that swing is like, oh well, we got to talk about that because we'll get in trouble if we don't draft that guy again. So the feedback loop is maybe a couple years for stuff to go from big leagues to amateur, but I think it's getting even tighter now that like I mentioned, the spin rates and things like that. I'm seeing shifts in high school showcases when you see a big slugging left-hand hitter where they don't have any data. They're just like, this guy looks like he's going to pull the ball a lot, so we'll go ahead and try to win this game. Like this stuff's all getting there. They aren't just kids copying Manny Ramirez's swing. Like, they're doing a lot of other things too.
They're really shifting without data, just because of how a kid looks.
Or they watch some batting practice. Like, you can get enough data, or watch one swing and he takes a wild Jeremy Burnitz cut. It's like, right, this guy's probably trying to pull the ball. Let's see if he can go.
Kylie, top 10, when people are tuning into the draft, Cubs, Phillies fans, they're 13-21. What other points of intrigue are there in the top 10 for you?
Yeah, I would say the really intriguing thing is going back to that tier of top 6 to 8 players that should go in those top 8 spots in the draft. One of these players is a coin flip to be the best guy in the draft, and it's going to go 7th, 8th, 9th. Like right now, I think Kumar Rocker to the Royals at 7th overall is maybe the single most likely player pick combination. And to a casual fan, maybe a huge Cubs Phillies fan that just sort of pays attention to the top of college baseball and just knows Leiter and Rocker, would probably be shocked to hear that, because he looked like he was the favorite to go number 1 overall after his freshman year. And he's leveled off a bit. Some other guys have gotten better. I think he's been a little bit unfairly and a little bit fairly picked apart. There's a number of things kind of going on there. But there's really good players that I think are legitimate 1-1 candidates in this draft and in a lot of different drafts that are just going to go 8th or 9th. And I think, like I mentioned earlier, there's some of these mid-major college hitters are going to go in the 30s that maybe should be going 10 or 15. And I think on draft day, you can see the number 1 guy in my rankings I have going 8th in the mock draft right now. And I think that's the most likely spot for him to go, which is, tells you how wild the top of this draft is going to be. I don't think I'll have any idea who's going to get anything until maybe an hour before the draft, and I might not know any of those picks at all when the draft starts.
Wow. It should be great fun. Kylie McDaniel, thank you so much for joining us, for sticking around during the break, and really appreciate your insight. Your mock draft drops tomorrow, is that right?
Yeah, depending on when Dan Baldwin put it out, I'm going to guess 8 a.m. if I had to put a number on it.
Fantastic. Kylie, thank you as always. Appreciate your work.
Yep, thanks for having me on, guys.
Kylie Perry's the editor on the way out, always a good touch. Jankowski to second base, 1 out. And Segura the batter. You see here how important, and it's a little basic to say, but it's necessary to say, how important getting a hit from the 8 spot in the National League is. Because then you can use the pitcher to bunt, and now you've set up Segura with an opportunity with the runner at second.
Yeah, Jankowski has incredible speed. I mean, I got to see him play Stony Brook days in college, and he's always had exceptional wheels. And he's added some tools where he's making some contact with the bunting and use that speed. And now he's in second base in a position where he can push himself across and gets the hit.
To third, Wisdom throws out Segura, who's 0 for 3. Phillies continue to struggle on base-wise for the 1 spot in the order, but Brad Miller was on his way up. Got a 2-0 pitch in the third, and he absolutely demolished it.
Yeah, the key to that was the fact that he followed the ball. He stayed through a 2-seam fastball that was rolling away from him, and just what you say, hit it where it was pitched. And he has the power to be able to go opposite field and got that ball into backspin into the gap. So, Miller has that kind of pop, which is why Alzolay has to be very careful.
Mentioned Jankowski from Stony Brook, same school that provided longtime closer Joe Nathan a senior. They call Jankowski Fred, and the story goes he is Mr. Rogers aficionado, so his nickname is Fred.
They had a great team that year. They knocked off Louisiana State University. It was a real big upset, but you could see a lot of guys were drafted off that team. Very talented group. In fact, Kevin Gosman pitched, who's now an all-star for the San Francisco Giants. They had LSU also had Aaron and Austin Nola. I mean, they were loaded, right? And yet they were able to beat them at their home field at LSU. So he's coming from a team that was an underdog and had great success. You can see how he's hung in there in the big leagues.
Yeah, to be Stony Brook as Chirinos goes out to talk to Alzolay, and to go down to Alex Box Stadium, renowned as one of the great nighttime atmospheres in all of college sports, let alone college baseball, and win there was an outstanding takeaway from his college career.
Yeah, I enjoyed that trip because, Baton Rouge, the hospitality was impressive. And there was a lot of LSU fans that actually went to the College World Series to support them as the underdog. So, there was a lot of gestures between fans. Very positive.
Good tailgating down there too, right?
Ooh, yeah. Good breakfast too.
Nice. Brad Miller, not a whole lot of opposite field home runs. Most of his work this year has come in a pinch hit role. Yep. He gets the start for Hoskins, considering the OPS massive difference for Alzolay against righties and lefties. Every hit Alzolay's allowed has come from a lefty, and there is another crush by Miller. It's a two-run homer deep into the Chicago night, and it's 4-0 Phillies.
This ball is absolutely crushed by Miller. And to his credit, he was looking and hunting for that slider. And he got the kind that you could drive out. Here it is, home right there. And he's perfectly timed for that. There was no hesitation, there was no hitch. That was, I am sitting on the slider. But then the key is to execute and to not miss it. So he's showing a complete package here by taking the sinker two-seam away to left field, gets the home run, gets a hanging slider, gets the fat head out, and doesn't do too much. Pulls it for another home run.
He gets a hat, too. He's one away from a hat trick with Bryce Harper. Hits it right to Horner in the shift for out number 3. But the Phillies have 2 Brad Miller home runs.
Wholesome peanuts, the first and often favorite ingredient in the sweet, salty Nature Valley granola bar.
At Yoplait, we believe growing kids need strong bones. Yoplait, with calcium and vitamin D to help build strong bones.
So this would fall under auto, not home, I'm guessing? Either way, I'm insured. Right? Yeah, I'm asking. Take your time.
Not getting the insurance advice you need? Switch to Desjardins and get a Desjardins agent who gets to know you and what you really need.
Before you take any paper pain, I recommend topicals first, like these patches and spray from Salon. Effective, targeted relief. It's gentle on the body. Salon products. It's good medicine.
Through the hard times and the good, I have to praise you like I should.
I just don't want to be able to parent, Just being this. Yeah, I'm holding the vacuum cleaner.
20 years ago, an immigrant became an entrepreneur. A dream became a reality, and a country became home. Thank you, Canada, for embracing our craft and allowing us to share it with you. Osmos,
sale is here for $49.99. Watch all out-of-market regular season games live or on demand. Plus, MLB Big Inning blackout and other restrictions apply. Sale ends July 12th. Visit MLB.tv for details. This is the Doug Lambill Bowl. You played for both of these teams twice. Doug, you join a list of so many guys, 312 guys to play for both organizations, but you played twice for these organizations. But overall, Miguel Cairo, Chuck Klein, Keith Norland, J.B. Moyer, Terry Mulholland, Mark Parent, Robin Roberts.
And those are the ones who played twice or once?
No, I was just listing all the guys who played once. I could do that for days.
Yeah. Well, I remember when the Phillies made a lot of trades with the cup, it became Phillies West.
A ball swept into center field and down. Alcantara with a leadoff single before the pitcher spot. We'll see if they'll hit for Alzolay. Doug Lambill in the Cubs uniform running down a fly ball at Shea, is that?
That's Shea Stadium, correct? And that is playoff action there. I'm surprised that I hit the ball out, maybe.
Look at the focus on the bases.
Yeah, I love trying to cause havoc on the bases. That's also Shea, I believe. Well, I grew up in Teaneck, New Jersey, so not far from Shea Stadium and Frankie Stadium, so I had a little extra spice for the Mets.
So what are the differences between playing for the Phillies and the Cubs? 8.5 pitch hits for Alzolay.
Well, personally, I grew up a Phillies fan, and that was a childhood dream to get over there and be their starting center fielder and play for the Phillies. So that was a different flip. I went to college in Philadelphia, so that was my college town. So I had unique connections, and the Phillies had a family business, and David Montgomery, may he rest in peace, was, when my father passed away, he came to his funeral, so I felt like there was a lot of family in my Phillies experience. And the Cubs was, first of all, Chicago was such a great city. It was a team that drafted me, and I had an instant connection, like, this is where I'll play the rest of my career. And I grew up in the 70s and 80s, so I saw there was a lot of movement with players. My favorite teams in the Phillies, they stayed, right? Gary Maddox and Mike Schmidt. And, but there was so much transition now with free agency and trades and all that. But it didn't work out that way, but the fans were always so positive. I love that about playing in Chicago. Another game, rest in peace, Frank Castillo pitched, and I remember we started the season like 0-8, 0-9, and he was jogging before the game. The bleacher bumps, the fans and the bleachers were saying, "That's okay, Frank, you win the next one. Don't worry about it." There was just like a support, and that was always going to be my first team, professional team, where I learned how to be a pro. And I loved how both those organizations kept the legacy players around. Whether it was Billy Williams or Fergie Jenkins or Philly side, Mike Schmidt, Steve. I just saw these players I loved growing up. That was a great honor. So I remember getting traded to the Phillies, and the bleacher, they were on me about like, Lambill. I was like, you traded me, man.
Miller starts it, and the return pass is there for a double play. Beautifully done on the infield, 3-6 to 3. And 2 down, and the Cubs fifth is with the studio and Shea.
Jason Mariners taking on the Yankees. Seattle up 1-0 in the second here. That's when Dylan Moore hits a 2-run homer off Jordan Montgomery. That was really all it took. Logan Gilbert would take care of the rest for Seattle. He was dealing 7 innings, 8 strikeouts, no walks, only 1 hit. In fact, Gilbert retired the last 18 batters he faced today. Mariners win 4-0. And Jason, it was the first time the Yankees were shut out in Seattle since 2007. It's been a minute.
Wow, how about that? Yankees look like they might be pulling themselves up and out after that win on Sunday Night Baseball, and then another win, but the Mariners quieted them down. It was a double play, though.
Yeah, when you have a right-handed first baseman, he has to do that full rotation. But they were so quick on it. Miller does a nice job, just quick turn, get it to Gregorius, and get that high chest on throw.
Peterson pops it up. Middle infield. Gregorius makes the catch, and that will do it. Cubs threaten can't score. We go to the sixth.
This is Sapporo, where influences blend, cultures connect, and Japanese artistry and Western tradition converge. You too can discover the remarkable, where East meets West.
Keeping your smile healthy between dental visits is important. The Waterpik Water Flosser removes plaque from treated areas. Brushing alone only gets the surface, but the Waterpik Water Flosser cleans the areas brushing may miss. Go to waterpik.ca to learn more.
We run from place to place, seeking excitement, when the greatest moments are the ones in between. Thoughtful connectivity that sparks a genuine connection. Intuitive safety that supports your every move. Refined craftsmanship and performance that tend to deliver a detour. Experience the Lexus SUV line.
We've come a long, long way together, through the hard times and the good. I had to celebrate you, baby. I had to praise you like I should.
It is the game that stands two nations still. The UEFA Euro 2020 final is a clash of titans on TSN TV. England is one win away from their first Euro title. Nice becoming, but standing in the way. Italy, beaten in 33 matches. UEFA Euro 2020 final, Sunday on TSN and CTV.
Welcome back to Major League Baseball on ESPN. Telegraph presented by Hardwood Tire. It is the Phillies 4-0 and into the bullpen. First the Cubs tonight, and Corey Abbott in his 5th game of the year. He's got a fastball around 93. He'll throw a slider as well and a curveball and a rare changeup as he is in for Alcala.
Kiefer Abbott just command. You see the strikeout walker, they're awfully close. He gave up a couple of home runs in that stint too, so just got to get his location, kind of misses his spots over the heart of the plate. Because he doesn't get the chance to have a rhythm pitching consistently, it's tough to stay sharp.
Good game of his very young career out of Loyola Marymount. And 1-1 to Real Muto, who walked and scored the second and struck out in the 4th inning. But for JT Real Muto tonight, he's had 15 pitches in his first 2 trips to the plate.
The interesting thing about Real Muto is that he wears out starting pitches when he sees them repeat. Over 340 in that clip. But when relievers come in, his average has been under 160. So you got to really adjust the belt and bullpens. And that sometimes speaks to just repetition. You see the same guy over and over again, that starting pitcher, you get that comfort of just being familiar and making those adjustments. And sometimes the cavalcade relievers we see in Major League Baseball, these deep bullpens, that specialization is tough to adjust to. And he's had a particular challenge with that.
3-2 on Real Muto, be followed by Gregorius and Herrera in the Phillies 6th. The Phillies are 4.5 back in the first place Mets in the National League East, starting play as the Mets were postponed tonight due to rain. That's ball 4, second one for Real Muto.
It's kind of been the Cubs bullpen story. They have a fantastic season. They're second in ERA. The bullpen also have the highest strikeout rate. But one of the problems that has plagued them is walks, which is 3rd in Major League Baseball also. So the National League, they're 3rd. So that it's high, and there are a lot of base runners that they're just giving free passes to. So this is something that they want to really sharpen on because their power pitching strikeout bullpen, they keep runs off the board, but there's a lot of base runners, a lot of traffic.
And as we said, every game between now and late July is an opportunity for the Cubs to go on a counterbalancing win streak after the loss of 11 in a row before the win yesterday. And an 8.5 back is a precarious spot for the Cubs with that deadline approaching in 3 weeks or so.
Yeah, absolutely, Jason. And one of the factors that becomes an issue is how many teams you have to leapfrog. You know, wild card is part of the equation, but you know, we look at the National League West and the strength and the depth of that division. It's tough to find an extra wild card slot. So you're thinking winning the division, and all of a sudden, if you let teams get past you, the Reds, you know, all of a sudden, you know, you have too many teams to pass because you're all beating up each other at the end of the season in division play.
I mean, just yesterday, the Cubs were in 4th place after St. Louis lost and the Cubs won, so the Cubs went back over top of St. Louis for 3rd. But, you know, I go back to what David Ross told us before the game about some of his guys feeling the pressure of the moment, even though they have a championship under their belt. And you think about the play Chirinos tried to make, cutting down the first run of the ball game. That could start to permeate a clubhouse that I need to do a little bit more than normal. And that's not always good in baseball, right?
Well, Jason, you know, there's different pressures at different times in your career. And even winning a world championship, which the Cubs have done, and reversing the curse, so to speak, you know, there's different pressures now because they want to stay together. They want David Ross is, you know, someone they've respected and played with and won championships with. And they want to be successful. And they know that time is ticking and the age of these players and their contracts and just their loyalty to the city. So, you know, it's fleeting when you play this game. You don't know how long. You don't know how long you'll be able to do it and be together. I remember Turner Ward was a teammate of mine, and at the end of the season one year, he gave everybody a hug on the field. He's like, and you know, we were like, wow, it's just so exuberant. And he's like, look, you don't know if you'll ever see these guys again when the season ends. They might be out of the game. They may not ever play with you again. And you know, so you're trying to cherish these moments and smell the roses, but you know, work in hand, and that can be pressure. It's a different kind of pressure than winning, but it's a pressure nonetheless.
How much do you think about the fact that a career is basically an hourglass with sand in the top while you're playing?
Well, I'd say a career is a blink and a stare. I mean, that's how short your career is. And you know, at the end of my career, I started to truly like get autograph bats and start asking for pictures. And I realized that wait a minute, I'm towards the end here, and I wanted to make sure that I had a collection of memories that I could preserve. But it's fast, and you know, you can't underestimate. Yes, you are competing. If you're the Phillies, you're competing against the Cubs. But on a personal level, you know that there's a guy next to you coming up in the minor leagues. It might take your job. For me, you know, I beat Lenny Dykstra out, and then Marlon Bernauer came, and you know, it's just the cycle turns over even internally in your organization. And that's tough. It's tough, and it happens quickly.
Another foul ball on the 8th pitch of the at-bat, and as you say that, I think about our conversation with David Ross before the game today, when he was talking about himself and the way he's handling this, and he said, as the manager, I blank, and I said, how does it feel to call yourself the manager? And he sort of recoiled a little bit and laughed because he said, I'm really still getting used to that and hearing that, although my beard in the Zoom call suggests that I shouldn't be getting used to it. I should just know that it's true with the gray in there.
And remember, Jason, so much of your career depends on your youth. It depends on your ability to stay young in the game. You're always fighting father time. You're always fighting, and you're in a denial of injury because you want to be on the field in this small window of opportunity. And then Jimmy Rollins said it well. When you're playing, you're young. As soon as you stop, you're old. And it hits you like a waterfall. And look, it's why it's so hard to transition out of the game. You know, it's hard because you're like, wait a minute, what happened? You know, what happened? I just remember just yesterday these moments, and I remember Ryan Howard. I was working for ESPN covering a game. He walked up to me and he was sitting on the bench, wasn't playing well, he was hurt. He said, "Now I understand what happened to you when you were older when I first came up. I know the feeling now of getting pushed out and feeling like your time is done." Wow. You know, that was, you know, he understood it at the moment when I was telling him when he first came up, but it was also hard. He didn't want to accept it because we're like, hey, I'm a young guy, I'm here to stay. And then all of a sudden, he's the veteran, he's the old guy. And old meaning 34 years old. And you start to reflect on how those older guys were treated when you were younger, and then it comes back over you. That you don't want to be this expendable piece of luggage. But that's the business of the game. Your time runs out. And it's usually not a ride off into the sunset. It's a flat slobber. It's a pulled hamstring. It's a slow back. It's a 1:30 April when you no longer have the bandwidth to get another opportunity to work your way out of the slump because the young guy's coming and your team is 25 games out. It changes in a heartbeat.
As you say that, I think before it's an 11-game losing streak with the guys that you won a World Series with.
Yeah, and that's the pressure you talked about, Jason. That's the pressure. Because you have that perspective of what it took to get to that point and it's slipping away.
On 3-2, a dozen pitches, and this one slashed to right field down the line, and Hayward in the corner does make the catch, and a long at that from Gregorius. Real Vito back to first. Herrera coming up. Think you know who will take home the home run title from Colorado? Enter the T-Mobile Home Run Derby Bracket Challenge and compete to win $100,000. Visit MLB.com/bracket. Restrictions apply. See rules. Doug Glanville, Jason Benetti, we thank you for joining us. Wrigley Field is site. Picturesque night in Chicago as Herrera stands in. He is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. Real Vito at first. Phillies with 2 home runs tonight for Brad Miller. And another for first base. So, knowing all this that you're talking about, and the sunset of a career or a team of togetherness, what is the best way to handle the next 3 weeks psychologically? And I know I'm putting you in somebody else's shoes, but based on your experience and seeing what you've seen, if you're those Cubs stars, how do you do this?
Well, you've done it already. And you forget that at times when the pressure gets great, but you've done it already. They've been a successful organization, and they picked each other up in much more challenging circumstances when they didn't have a trophy to even refer to for over 100 years. They've done the impossible, and it's still talented. This isn't like an elderly team here. This is a team that still has a lot in the tank left. Look at this production by the big three. Look at it.
Bryant and Rizzo.
Yeah,
first of all, trios. And part of it is you just don't have trios like this stick around together very much.
Right, but that's to their credit, and that's to the organization's credit. They kept them together, and they produced. They are number one, not 2, 3. They are number one most productive trio in Major League Baseball since 2015. Number one. And so they earn the right to be able to work through things, and I think that is part of it too. Like, to be able to know, like, are we going to get the bandwidth and the opportunity to get out of it? By the way, great block there on a 42-foot curveball that hits him in the shoulder. Incredible block.
2-1 on Herrera. Chirinos got the body in front. And young Corey Abbott, who's just shown up in the lives of the big three, a couple of which are not in the lineup due to injury tonight. Bryant with a hamstring. Baez with a ton. Able to have that here back in the Raiders. That's a base hit to right by Herrera, and Real Muto retreats to second base.
Herrera has had trouble being successful pulling the ball. His power goes down, and there's not a lot of base hits. The shift has really had an impact, but caught way too much of the plate for Abbott to be able to chop it down and find that hole. But with the pause there, Warner, who has great range, can't get there. But you have to respect the arm of Jason Hayward and get one base at a time. It's tough to go first to third on Hayward and any ball hit directly at him.
Real Muto at second, Herrera at first, and Alec Bohm, who struck out on a pair of 3-2 pitches against Alzolay, has a chance to blow it open. Ball is right.
Now, you can tell what the strategy is of the Cubs. They're trying to stay down and away to him, in part because of how far off the dish he is. He's pretty far off. And so for him to reach out, although he has a long arm to the lawn, it's tough to get that lower third. So the Cubs are trying to excavate away, just trying to keep him down and away.
That was just down, and it's 0-2, 25 pitches down for Abbott coming up in this inning.
And credit Didi Gregorius on that one. 12 pitches in that at bat, so half his account goes to Gregorius.
Two. He reaches out to get it, stabs it to first on a line. Third on Real Muto, and he is back in there safely. But again, Alec Bohm has unfortunate luck on a ball hit hard to first, 2 down. And we'll go to the studio and see what's coming up for Shea.
What's going on in the NL Central? Bottom of the 8th here, Royals on top of the Indians, and still, Roberto Perez hit a 3-run bomb. That gives Cleveland the lead. It is now 4-3 in the 8th inning. How about the Tigers and Twins? Detroit was on top until Miguel Sano, Napo, and Yard back to 15th home run of the year. Tied things up between the Tigers and the Twins in the 8th inning. Guys, back to you.
Shea, thank you very much. Appreciate it. That's in Chicago studio, Shea Cornett. So Real Muto at third, Bohm at first, and Jankowski the batter with the pitcher's spot next. And there's ball number 1.
Well, as you mentioned, pitchers slot in. They want to be careful with Jankowski. Although he's hitting 8, he's been resurgent this season. He played a couple of years with the Padres, had a little over 300 plate appearances a couple of years, but mostly been a role player up and down the minor leagues. But he's off to a good start this season.
Well, you would imagine too, Doug, with Eflin, the way things have gone for the Philly bullpen, they will try and soak up as many innings as possible with Eflin. He has thrown 89 pitches so far tonight.
And he's still in range. He recovered from early where he was way deep into the pitch count. He started to gain some efficiency. Not much of a hitter, so Abbott has to be mindful of that.
And Jankowski strike 1 and 2. It was Jankowski's bunt in the 5th inning that made certain Miller came off. And Brad Miller parked an 0-2 pitch deep into the right field seats for this Phillies 4-0 lead. Real Muto at third, Bohm at first.
Why not run again?
1-2. Yep.
I mean, why not run again? To see if the Cubs are making an adjustment. Jankowski got an opportunity, and it's always interesting in a shift like that. Warner at second base is completely out of the picture.
Alcantara would have to cover the shortstop. 2-2. Just missed 3-2. So Doug, Eflin's on deck. But if this is a walk to Jankowski, would you think about possibly pitching to see if you could blow this open and help yourself?
I would. I mean, Joe already talked about how excited he is about his offense. He feels confident they can push runs across the board. They're healthy.
There is ball four. So with Daniel De Los Santos getting loose in the Phillies bullpen, we'll see if Eflin does come up.
Looking back. Never look back, man. Never look back. Act like you can't hear anything. Make them come physically catch you.
Well, here's the thing. He's not exactly Oscar Noah or Madison Bumgarner here. Eflin is 0 for 27 this year. Now, he did hit a home run in 2018.
Okay. That's something.
It is something. Bases loaded. Eflin first pitch swinging at a ground ball foul. Well, this, Doug, I would imagine to you speaks to the worry that Joe Girardi has about his bullpen more than anything.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of what he emphasized in talking to him was about pitching. And there's a tale of two cities with the Phillies right now, the starters and the relievers. And you don't want that tension, but the relievers have not executed as we know. I mean, look at this fall off. 4.91. 4.91 in 2021 ERA is 2 runs less than last year. So this is not where you want to be. And what can the bullpen say? They're relying on Eflin.
Wisdom to first, and the pick for Rizzo. The Phillies scrambled loaded. We'll see how it plays out. It's 4-0 somewhat.
We've come a long, long way together. Through the hard times and the good. I have to celebrate you, baby. I have to praise you like I should.
We used to build cars. We moved people. We went electric before it was cool. And then made one of the best-selling models on the planet. We redefined the SUV and brought swagger back to the sedan. This is the Nissan Sentra. With tech that fits your life. Tech to help keep you on track or stop you in the. Make your move with the Nissan Sentra.
You're going like this. What? Slow me down, Ryan. This? You wait. I can fix it. Please. Please. No, you Ryan. You got what? I'll change.
To carry this fastest national 5G network.
This is a Boston Pizza patio. It's like an indoor table, outdoors. You eat that like a sandwich you've made. We made that beer. It comes out of our taps instead of your fridge. Those are your going out jeans. They're for fashion. That's a coaster. It's like a chair for your drink. See, you're getting it. And we have all summer to practice. Get ready. VP Patio is back.
Well, the T-Mobile Home Run Derby on ESPN July 12th, 8 Eastern Time is going to be an awesome night on ESPN, ESPN2, ESPN Deportes, ESPN Radio, ESPN Plus. We got all kinds of coverage, and you see the most home runs prior to the All-Star break for a foreign player. I'm going to go ahead and say Shohei Otani's got at least one more.
Yeah, if it's not today, but they playing right now. I start my alarm sets in his home runs. Just nap schedule. It's just incredible.
You just have to appreciate it while he's here and while he's doing what he's doing. He is an exceptional talent. As you see Joe Girardi, who shares something in common with you, Phillies and Cubs, Doug Landon, and Joe was talking about Wrigley being his home ballpark. And one quirk of Joe Girardi I did not know until we talked to him today. We asked what he ate at Wrigley when he was growing up, coming from Peoria. He said, Ron Santo pizza and bags of peanuts. But tell everybody what he told us about the peanuts, Doug.
He ate them with the shell apparently on it, so he didn't crack them and break them apart. And he questioned the nutritional value of that, but it didn't stop him. So full on, he went on and just ate the shells with it. Doesn't sound very good.
That's a hearty Midwestern thing to do. We got him reminiscing a little bit about going Northwestern as this to shortstop with Didi Gregorius slinging for out number one. That is an outstanding play to Nick Wisdom for the first out.
And to your point, Jay, slinging, he just kept his hand position low and threw from that position with a lot of hair on it.
We were talking to Joe Girardi about going to Carmine's in Evanston, and we were like, hey, where'd you go? You know, where are your hangouts in Evanston? He said, I was a college baseball player. I didn't have a whole lot of time. I don't believe that for a second.
We mentioned what, Mustard's Last Stand? I mean, he threw some names at us.
Mustard's is that ball hit in the air to right field, pretty well back there. Harper is in the track. There is out number two. Mustard's Last Stand is right next to Ryan Field, the football facility at Northwestern. Shay, you ever eaten at Mustard's Last Stand?
I have been to Mustard's Last Stand. Great hot dog. And a central matchup here between Reds and Brewers in the fifth. But the Barnhards with an RBI single that would put them on top. So it's now 3-2 Reds, top of the sixth inning. Let's go to the AL Central, shall we? Indians and Royals going back and forth. Carlos Santana out for revenge against his former team, apparently. That would be another home run. His second of the night. It's Santana's 11th career multi-home run. His first since 2019. 9 up at 4. Top of the ninth, guys.
Doug, you suffered through losing streaks. You had a 14-gamer with the Cubs. The Indians are on a 9-game losing streak, and that's the type of stuff that happens in the ninth inning, isn't it? When you're going bad.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, just like it just seems like it does feel almost curse-like. It does. Started the '97 season with the Cubs, 0-14, and we faced really some great pitching, no doubt about it. We could not figure out how to break it. And you always look back and say, gosh, there's one play or one moment we could not find it.
Mr. First Base, and Miller off the bag made the nice feed for Eflin. And Joe Girardi paid off on a 1-2-3-7 pitch inning for Eflin, who hit for himself in a 4-0 game.
Him's is Canada's favorite place for donuts. I'm excited to introduce our newest innovation. We have 2 filled ring dream donuts. The strawberry shortcake is dual filled. It's one of a kind. You gotta try them for yourself. Strawberry shortcake and vanilla cream puff. It's time for tips.
What makes us fall in love with a car before we know anything about horsepower or torque? It's defined by something bigger. The way it makes us feel. Keeping your smile healthy between dental visits is important. The Waterpik Water Flosser removes plaque from treated areas. Brushing alone only gets the surface, but the Waterpik Water Flosser cleans the areas brushing may miss. Go to waterpik.ca to learn more.
Through the hard times and the good, I had to separate you, baby. I have to praise you like I should.
Hustlers, welcome to Compound Outdoors. Let's get jogging.
One minute, baby. 1, 2, 1, 2. So many Peloton movies on the leaderboard today. Welcome to the family.
Try Peloton classes free on the app. New members only. Terms apply.
When you bring a DQ cake or Blizzard cake to the celebration, you bring more than just delicious fudge and crunch and world-famous DQ soft serve. You bring good times, big smiles, and a whole lot of happy. Just be sure to bring enough spoons. DQ, happy tastes good.
Top of the seventh inning, Wrigley Field. It is the Phillies 4 and the Cubs nothing. Cubs are 8.5 back in the NL Central opening play today behind Milwaukee. We just got the update on Shea in the studio, who is trailing 3-2. Cubs are just clear of the Cardinals for fourth place. It's 2-0 to Segura, who's 0 for 3 so far. And Doug, the Phillies are 29th in weighted runs created plus in leadoff spot production this year. Is he still feeling around for who that leadoff man is?
Yeah, Segura, been a fantastic hitter. He's hit 300 every month this season. A lot of hits throughout his career, but he's not the guy who's going to walk a ton. So he's got to get his hits to be on base.
Oh, does he? How about that? There it is. Base hit for Segura. And how about Brad Miller today, Doug?
You talk about all field, right? Sinker away, he takes it away, goes with it to the opposite field. Calm stroke, in control. Then he gets the hanging slider, and then he attacks. He was looking for this pitch, sits back, doesn't get over aggressive, which would make you pull it. And look at the distance, Jason. I mean, this is photocopy here. 401 the opposite field, 400 down the line. That's an excellent sequence showing someone who's sitting on a ball and stays within himself to put a good swing on it.
Yeah, he's basically back for hire in his major league career, Brad Miller. And they use it here on a day when Joe Girardi played the splits with Houseline, and it paid for him in a big way.
And Miller was underestimated. I mean, he hit 30 home runs one season. I mean, he was a guy that was the future, the everyday player. I mean, he has pop. And, he just hasn't been able to get to that form again, be consistent, and rebuild his career again, but he's found a slot here in Philly.
Oh, my goodness. Miller again. That's number 3. It's Brad Miller night at Wrigley, and it's 6-0 Philadelphia. What in the world is going on for number 13?
I'll call it lucky 13. Everything he's looking for, he's attacked and he's been right, but he's also gotten the barrel to the ball. And absolutely destroys this pitch here. Miller, the power is not a shock, it's the way he's consistent with it so far in July. And this ball's a little in off the plate, but to keep it fair, you have to keep a steady base and quick hands through this. I mean, this is scoreboard.
Yeah, that hit the scoreboard, and now it's a real hat trick for Brad Miller. So, Archie Bradley, who's warming up in the bullpen, bought the first half. They liked him so much they went and bought a couple more. And it's a good thing they bought a couple more because they needed him tonight.
Yeah, you have to recycle the same one. I talk about golden sombrero. I thought that, sombrero wasn't a good thing in hitting. It was a bad thing. Strikeouts. But tonight it's a good thing for Miller and the Phillies.
Wow, the Philly fans who made it in full uniform are thrilled. Maybe those are a couple of the guys that Joe Girardi was talking about who were hanging out outside the Phillies ballpark last year when fans weren't allowed in. They made some trips
to match his 300-plus rockets he's hit for us. So just call it baseball.
I agree with you. It doesn't all even out, but this is the best evidence I've seen in a long time, and maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, jammed out of his mind, and they had to shift on him. I mean,
And he hit 3 clotheslines earlier today.
The defense teleported.
One ball, one strike. So the StatCast on his 3 batted balls earlier, 105, 112, 103, and in this school zone, Johnny, down the left field line.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's nobody on that side of the field. At 63 miles an hour, I mean, you know, in Virginia, that is not even a speeding ticket.
Yeah, that's right. In West Virginia, they might pull you over for going too slow.
Holding up traffic. Bryce Harper.
This game is so beautiful some nights and all nights if you find it. 1-2 for Real Muto. Swing on a breaking ball in the dirt is 2-2. I know for Cub fans, they're having a hard time and to squint to see the beauty of baseball at this point, but when it's going well for you, it is the most lovely game going.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they've risen above a lot of challenges in their history, and I played for the Cubs at the time. We didn't have that success until it was traded back to the Cubs from Texas in '03. So that was my only playoff appearance. So it's hard to get there. It's hard to stay there on top. And they've done it. They've had an exceptional run here. They're at a crossroads, though. And, you know, Ross is going to be here for a while. You know, he's part of this organization. There's a lot of faith in him. He's new. He's learning. And, you know, now he's just going to have to weather this storm.
One down, and I believe that was strike 3 to Real Muto. So runner at second, 1 down. And Gregorius, who's had a nice night at 2 for 3 and has seen a ton of pitches.
Yeah, he's really worn out the Cubs in pitch count. But he's won the tough battle, especially behind in the count.
See 21 pitches tonight, Didi Gregorius, and 3 plus 1 pitch here, trips to the plate.
A lot of foul balls, you know, just resetting the count. You know, he has a nice swing. He's compact. But, you know, his challenge has been when he gets the advantage, he hasn't been able to capitalize on it. He's working out of a hole and fairly successfully, but he's not able to do the same damage when he has that count in his favor.
Gregorius in the air, right center field. This ball is up and into the basket. Home run number 4 tonight for the Phillies. They're going to need another half.
Yeah, I mean, Gregorius, all night long, has been comfortable at bats, just putting good swings on it, lined out to right, found the ball in the gap in left center, but this swing was short and sweet. Fastball just at the belt. This is where he hits well. That lower zone, leads into it, looking for that ball. The backspin does the rest.
Man coming. No one's willing to give up one of his. He's got a lover of his teammate. So, you know, when you're down 8-0, you at least have to try to do something nice for somebody. And why not teach the kids to throw it back?
is mentorship at work. Teach them young.
Look at the smile on the kid's face after getting to be part of Wrigley Field more. First pitch, strike to Herrera.
And when I was a visiting player as a Philly playing against Chicago, I always knew to turn around, make sure that ball didn't get too close.
Yeah, I want to get to that in a moment. Oh, I was gonna go ahead and get an update from Shay, but I guess I'm gonna ask you now. How did you learn that? Like, did one come close to you on the throwback show or what?
I just turned around and waited for the throw just to see, so that if I have a glove, so I'm pretty safe. So,
right.
So nobody's throwing 105 from the bleachers, so I just in case someone errant throw and I'm not looking, so I was just ready for it. I appreciated the tradition, but I didn't want to get hit in the head. Then there was
back to the bleacher box.
Oh yeah, when I got traded, they were yelling at me. I said, "Look, the Cubs traded me. I didn't ask out of town. You traded me. This is the cards I was dealt." So they let me go after that. And then when I was with the Phillies and J.D. Drew, after he kind of snubbed the Phillies in the draft, I went out to the outfield after Drew came running in, and there was chicken wings, batteries, and everything under the sun that's thrown at him. So I knew it could be worse. Yeah, they weren't happy. Wow. Yeah, chicken wings was kind of my favorite thing that they threw.
Were they eating chicken wings or were they still meat on the bone?
No meat on the bone. Chicken wings.
The third, Wisdom, which we have quite a bit of tonight. 8-0. The Phillies over the Cubs. Brad Miller goes deep first. It's a hat trick for him, literally, but it didn't get to keep him for long because they're running low.
Keeping your smile healthy between dental visits is important. The Waterpik Water Flosser removes plaque from treated areas. Brushing alone only gets the surface, but the Waterpik Water Flosser cleans the areas brushing may miss. Go to waterpik.ca to learn more.
Just tell me what I need to know. Where is it?
It's on the beach, Ocean Views. It was supposed to be a surprise.
She doesn't like surprises, Dave.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
Booking a trip can feel dramatic, but with free cancellation, you can't go wrong with Hotels.com.
We've come a long, long way together. Through the hard times and the good, I have to celebrate you, baby. I have to praise you like I should.
It is the game that stands two nations still. The UEFA Euro 2020 final is a clash of titans on TSN and CTV. England is one win away from their first Euro title. History might be coming, but standing in the way.
Won't you come and move?
Italy, unbeaten in 33 matches. UEFA Euro 2020 final, Sunday on TSN and CTV. Just mesmerizing.
Welcome back to Major League Baseball on ESPN. Telecast presented by Good Tire. Stretch time at Wrigley Field. Phillies up big, and baseball's two biggest events of the summer are back-to-back. The action begins at the T-Mobile Home Run Derby on ESPN, ESPN2, July 12th at 8 p.m. Eastern. Then catch baseball's biggest stars in the 91st MLB All-Star Game presented by MasterCard, July 13th on Fox. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And Archie Bradley out of the bullpen for the Phillies. And a 1-1 count Max and Chirinos. Okay, then. Longest home run of the home run derby, the second ever at Coors Field. How long do you think the longest home run will be?
We got 505. I'm gonna throw a 5 out there. 505.
I am going to take the over.
Ooh, oh. Who's hitting that ball?
Yeah, I think I'm time.
Makes sense.
Although I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth because I said he might be upset in the first round. Now I got 500%.
Yeah, I mean, it's within him with the Coors altitude. I mean, I had a home run straight away center field.
Sorry guys, I'm back. I'm back, guys. I'm sorry. It took a long time. And now it's sorry guys, I'm back. I'm sorry guys, I took a long time.
I'm not sure. Probably favorable. But I remember the trees back there. I'm very excited. I actually shocked myself because I never really went in a home run that far. And so I was sprinting around the bases. And then all of a sudden it went out and I just had to act cool like I expected it.
Now I want to see that video. Honestly, to see you acting cool on a ball you didn't know it was going to go that far.
Sorry guys, I'm back. I took a little while, but
This to left field on a line, and it's caught by Jankowski for round number 1. More on the Bobby Joneses after this check with Shea.
Thanks, Jason. Nationals and Padres here, and the Nats were just putting it on the Padres.
and now it's 8-0 Phillies.
His third multi-homer game this season. The Nats scored 15 last night. They already scored 8 tonight. So Fernando.
So guys, I'm back. I'm sorry I took a long time, guys. I do apologize. I'm sorry I took a long time.
Dish just snapped the Indians' 9-game losing streak with a walk-off 3-run homer. And so the Indians win 7-4 over the Royals.
That was much needed for Terry Francona's Cleveland team. Franmil Reyes back from the injured list, providing some substantial thunder in this lineup. How many people do you think homered off both Bobby Joneses? That's sneaky fun.
It's probably a lot if it's, you take a Mike Piazza or something like that, but that's so few home runs.
So if you ask our stats and information groups, the telecast is over, I hope that we have an answer to whether or not you are the lowest home run hitting guy to ever off both Bobby Jones.
I'm very curious.
Sparks are flying on Jones Corner. Producers are flying on second and does get the out. Gregorius stabilizes it up.
Hey guys, smash the like button. I'm sorry.
This is a great play, and as a first baseman, you're forced when the ball's hit the middle of the field, you're forced to your backhand offering, and so he comes off and has to make this backhand play. And then a right-handed throw, you have to go around the runner. So there's a lot of factors. Look at the angle. Now, Chirinos, why is he bowling out like that? As a runner, I used to run inside to try to block the throw because they will not call interference on that play unless you stick your elbow out. So Chirinos throws out towards center field. Why are you giving him the lane? Just stay straight and make the throw harder for Brad Miller.
It's like a batter who bails out of the batter's box when the ball's in the dirt and coming toward him, right? Basically the same type of thing.
Yeah, and there's certainly reflexes that you don't control. Sometimes you just react that way. But I was always conscious of, especially a right-handed throwing first baseman, I'm going to stay in that lane as close to the grass as possible, make his throw nearly impossible, make it so hard that he has to throw it over me. And that's how you can get some errors out of it.
Breaking ball for Bradley, 2-1 to Alcantara. venerable Joe West, the all-time leader in games umpired now.
Yeah. Incredible accomplishment.
Third base side and ball. Alec Ball reaching into the dugout, and he made the catch.
A great play coming in, knowing where he is, and knowing he's not going to get any help.
We may see Brad Miller in the 8th. We'll find out together.
Any car can take you places, but mine does so much more. It keeps me connected to the things I like, heading in the right direction, and looking good. And when the unexpected happens, it helps protect me. That's why it's more than just a car to me.
The all-new Elantra. Stay connected and protected.
You guys, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit. I took so long, guys. Me and my friend Roger went for a walk, so guys, it's 8-0 went out for the Phillies over the Cubs. So smash that like button.
I still love to compete. Only now do it on Bet99.net. Power up the free play site and see why thousands of Canadians like me already know that every game starts on Bet99.net.
Guys, smash that like button, guys, because it is the bottom of the seven, I believe.
Save 7 cents a liter with Journey Rewards.
Your mama. Together, I ain't your mama. I ain't your mama. I ain't your mama, no. Hello, how are you today? Throw your best gifts if you want, guys. And if the beat loud, you know live to me. Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shape.
Guys, we are in the top of the 8th with one out, and with no one on base, and it's 8-0 for the Phillies over the Cubs, and there's one out.
Harry Carey stories are just absolutely endless from his time as an announcer and one of the great characters.
Host me a pick, then make me a pride, then when a lick a hit, then a bitch.
Guys, unfortunately, guys.
Always remember about Harry is he wrote me a handwritten card after my first season, and I just didn't expect it. I kind of almost didn't know he knew who I was in some ways. I mean, I was around, but you know, you always think of the legacy announcer and the legacy players. I came up with a lot of veterans when I was a rookie, and he took the
Guys, unfortunately, this guy right here passed away from the Blue Jackets. Rest in peace to him. I forget his name was, but he passed away from the Blue Jackets. So, guys, like subscribe. So the Royals go lose to Cleveland Indians.
Yeah, that was cool. It was
7.
a form of arriving to the victory. You know, it's one thing you can play against players you dreamed of playing against or with, and then you have people say your name and immortalize plays that you were part of, like Harry Callis or Harry Carey. I had some great announcers in my career. I'm very fortunate.
As we see the great Harry Callis as well, as that one ends up with Ortega on the ground. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. Phillies go down. We'll see Miller in the ninth.
You can play a normal game. You can make it 2.0. Life tasting Clear 2.0 has 80 calories and 2 grams of carbs. Why not make it 2.0?
How will you know when you've made it? Will you look the part? Will you be able to feel it? Will you be able to do more than you thought you could? Or will your next destination
So guys, is top of the 8th. So guys, hope you guys. Oh shit.
Bleeding gums? Hold on. It could be a sign of gingivitis. Listerine mouthwash contains antibacterial essential oils that kill up to 99.9% of germs and fight plaque and gingivitis. Listerine, trusted for generations with 100
Guys, I'm sorry.
of germ-killing power.
20 years ago, an immigrant became an entrepreneur. A dream became a reality. And a country became home. Thank you, Canada, for embracing our craft and allowing us to share it with you. Cosmos, we're making what you're craving.
Glory is a girl who has worked 24 years for a 2-second leap of faith. A father who has dedicated his life to save.
So guys, smash the like button. I'm sorry guys if I was out. I was out, but
Inside all of us is the potential for glory.
This July on Crave, the latest releases. Hits for the whole family and all new chapters in the series we love. Crave.
Weekend of Champions on ESPN, ABC, and ESPN Plus pay-per-view. Saturday morning, the Ladies Wimbledon Final. Saturday night, the 29th Annual ESPY Awards at UFC 264. Sunday morning, the Gentlemen's Wimbledon Final on ESPN. The Euro Final in the afternoon. And finally, Suns and Bucks Game 3 of the NBA Finals capping the weekend. Also streaming live on the ESPN app. All of it, one app, one tap, so you can watch anywhere. What a great weekend. Watching a little of the Euro, Italy, and Spain was great the other day. Wimbledon Finals both mornings, Saturday and Sunday. Breakfast at Wimbledon. ESPYs as well. We have official word from our stats and info group as Hector Neris comes into the ballgame for the Phillies. It was only 14 guys who homered off of both Bobby Joneses. That's an exclusive look. You should have jackets made.
I homered off of Bobby Jones. What have you done with your life? That's my jacket. I love Bobby Joneses. Yeah, I feel honored. I feel honored.
It's quite the list, though. Mr. Reyes is in at second base. There's a check swing for strike 3. Marisnik is out, pinch hitting to lead off the 8th. It's Fernando Tatis Sr., Chipper Jones, Mark McGuire, Rafael Palmeiro, Alex Burns, Jeff Kent, Greg Vaughn, Barry Larkin, among others.
I mean, yeah, you have to be like a near Hall of Famer, Colin. Or a Hall of Famer.
I think there should be a
guys,
Jones exemption.
Guys, I gotta go for now.
Or at least like an exhibit or something. Just the shrine in there.
Are you going to tell me you homered off of the Greg Harris's too? While we're at it.
The lefty or the righty, Greg Harris. That's the other.
This is my that's me and my girlfriend. Mateo, that's my girlfriend Mateo.
Yeah, I think he was a little before my time, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so too. This is foul first base side from Jock Peterson, who evidently has a thing with David Ross. Jock Peterson walks by the manager of the Cubs, calls him coach, and then David Ross says player to Jock Peterson. So, hey coach, hey player.
Well, that was me when I first got drafted. When I got sent to Winston-Salem.
So guys, so yeah, it's 8-0 still. Bombing of the 8th with 1 out. Two balls, 1 strike to.
Finally, they told me, like, look, you can call me my name. You don't call me Blue and Coach. So it was just respect.
And guys, and tomorrow the Phillies take on the take on the
It was a title of respect. So, Coach, okay, Coach, what do you want me to do? So, yeah, I don't think Rossi loves that, but
take on the Red Sox.
Were you going to go maybe Mr. Dreckman after Blue?
Yeah, no, I mean, first name was also weird. Mr. Dreckman is much better. Yeah.
3-2 for Peterson, who is 0 for 3 today. Phillies with 4 home runs in the game as Peterson hits this ball into left. Dan Jankowski out number 2 in the Cubs 8.
Now it's 2-0, guys.
Hello. All right, Padres. We're down 8-2 to the Nationals, and then of all people to hit a grand slam off Max Scherzer, reliever Daniel Camarena, who's a San Diego native.
Smash the like button, guys.
But nonetheless, it happened. It's now 8-6. How about 3-2 Red Sox with the 6 Brewers? Kevin Urena hits a double, that's followed by Jesse Winker, but it's a double nonetheless here, guys. So it is 3-all right now, bottom of the 7th in Milwaukee. That's you.
Not bad. Camarena with a grand slam. Who says pitchers shouldn't hit? Who says universal DH? You take away that moment then.
I know. I mean, it's magic. You're like, wow, how did that happen?
Now, look, I know pitchers are hitting worse than ever this year. I get it. Like, we want more offense. I'm nostalgic. I like having pitchers.
So guys, what's up, everybody? Hope you guys like the video. Guys, don't forget, don't worry about the hate, okay?
There's just all kind of wheeling and dealing. I would get into games in the 5th inning as I got older and was on the bench. I don't know. I enjoyed that part of it.
Mike Petriello, our StatCast friend on the Camarena Homer, just tweeted, Daniel who now? Good job, Mikey. Getting himself psyched up for a StatCast Home Run Derby broadcast.
So yeah, the home guys, I might be live for the All-Star game and the Home Run Derby. Guys, let me know in the comments below if you want me to do the Home Run Derby and the All-Star game.
Patrick Winston, who had 8 home runs in his first 15 games this year.
Yeah, I mean, he was solid, and he's came on the scene with power at the center. I mean,
Right now it's 8-0. Bomber knife with 2 outs, 2 balls, 2 strikes. With Will the guy's name for the Cubs is at the back. Smash like button, guys.
Brad Miller's got 3 home runs. He will lead off the night for Philadelphia.
And congratulations to the Tampa Bay Lightning of winning the guys. Tampa Bay is back-to-back Stanley Cup champions.
Since I switched to Questrade, the lower fees are making a big difference. Sounds complicated. Please, Questrade makes it easy. You're not still investing with mom and dad's guy, are you?
It's time to switch to Questrade, Canada's fastest growing online broker.
If you want to look good and not be bummy, yo, you better give me that.
Hey, dirty, baby, I got your laundry, don't you worry. Say hey, baby, I got your laundry. Hey, dirty, baby, I got your laundry, don't you worry. Say hey, baby, I got your laundry.
The new LG Wash Tower. Redefine laundry in half the space. Ford Escape. Built for seeing the city in a whole new way. Get great financing rates plus no charge all-wheel drive on this Escape. Tim's is Canada's favorite place for donuts. I'm excited to introduce our newest innovation. We have 2 Build Ring Dream Donuts. The strawberry shortcake is dual filled. It's one of a kind. You gotta try them for yourself. Strawberry shortcake and vanilla cream puff. It's time for Tim's.
Brad Miller night at Wrigley Field tonight, Doug Glanville.
And Miller has shown all pitches, all locations, all swings. He takes the fastball away, he hits the hanging slider, he pulls on it, and then they try to run a fastball in, miss their spot, and all of a sudden make that mistake. He also makes you pay for it off the scoreboard. So look at the trajectories of this. Opposite field, 401 distance, over 105 miles an hour plus on every ball. There's absolute no clue what the pitch the Cubs can throw at Brad Miller at this point, because nothing has worked tonight.
They're going to try a lefty against him. Adam Morgan. Miller has just 14 career home runs against left-handed pitchers, and he takes a first pitch strike from Morgan as Marisnick stays in center. And a former teammate of Brad Miller very briefly a couple years ago in Philadelphia, Morgan.
Yeah, Morgan, not a lot of innings, as you can tell here, 3 innings. Generally has command, although struggled a little bit so far in the big league stint.
Morgan's only allowed 60 career home runs, although 23 of them came in 2016 as a starter for the Phillies. 1-1 to Miller with his 3 home runs. And he got under it. If this leaves, it's really a Lindy night at Wrigley. Corner, we're on number 1.
They got one to hit, Jason. I mean, it was a hanging breaking ball towards the bottom of the plate. Just got under it. It looks like his timing is really sharp right now so far in July. Miller's turned it around.
Great to see his parents in the crowd. Brad Miller, born and raised in Orlando, but his parents at Wrigley tonight for this 3 home run night for their son.
That's awesome when you can showcase in front of your family, and that's just it's a great feeling.
One down, and they'll pitch it for Harper. He is done. So Williams in for Harper. Luke Williams, who came up to the big leagues and got himself a home run very quickly.
A big one at that.
Hey everybody.
For Luke Williams. Yankee Stadium as this ends up in center field.
What's up, everybody? Hope you having a. Thank you for the like. Tell your friends and family about my channel. And guys, how you doing? How you? How you today, Cole?
Head-to-head bracket style competition. ESPN2 StatCast version. Coverage starts at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and the ESPN app. One app, one tap.
How you doing today?
Couple of walks. $1 million is for some of the young guys in that event. You'd absolutely take $1 million. Pete Alonso made himself quite a bit of bank with that win in Cleveland 2 years
Doing
ago.
good, you? Doing good. Just watching the Phillies and the Cubs game right now. And the Phillies are winning 8-0 to the top of the ninth with one on base, one out, and one ball, no strikes.
2-0 on Real Muto, who we talked about the athleticism, Doug. He was a standout athlete in high school. He was the star quarterback for the football team and won a state title as a quarterback as well.
Yeah, Joe Girardi just kept underscoring how important it is and how he contributes different ways to help his team win. And by the way, he's hitting fourth in the lineup on top of it.
Two balls, no strikes turns into 3-0. Williams, who just had that base hit, had that first home run at home against Atlanta. The only run scored in that game for the Phillies. Oh, I had Yankee Stadium on that. 3-0 for Real Muto. And it's inside for ball four. 11:30 p.m. Sports Center with SVP. Complete post-game coverage of Game 2 of the NBA Finals. Plus, Stephen A. and Tim Legler on Game 2 of the top moments from around Major League Baseball. Sports Center with SVP right here on ESPN and the ESPN app. I don't know what SVP is going to do without White Sox highlights. Sox are on tonight. Could be okay. In Sanford, Steve, I hope so. Suns are up in Game 2, I'm told, right now.
Don't get to subscribe to my friend's channel, Game of 6000. I'm going to take a show, bro. Alright. Don't forget to subscribe to my friend's channel, Game of 6000. He has a lot of like he does a lot of like games like probably. What games do you do for your channel, like Black Ops?
Yeah, he's not happy about that.
Hey, hi, Boo and Sai. Together again. Hey, guys. They look happy.
He's thinking about that triple away from the cycle.
Wrigley's not the easiest place to triple.
No, well, you try to get that corner maybe down the right field line, but it's a tough triple.
Is it better with lighter ivy or heavier ivy?
Well, you gotta get it in the ivy without it getting stuck where the outfielder can raise his hand. It's kind of tough to time that one out.
Did you ever have a circumstance where the umpire didn't give you the double when you raised your hand on a ball in the ivy?
No. I did see Kevin Jordan, the teammate of mine, get an inside the park home run on a ball, and we were the Phillies, and the outfielder reached in, and that was it. Once you reach in and play it, so they tell you if the ball gets stuck or even close to stuck, and you have to deal with the ivy, you raise your hands, and that's it. It's a dead ball. But once you put your hand in and go for it,
guys,
it's on the right circle of the bases. So you start fishing. Bad news. So you learn that really early, especially as a home player.
Did they have like a little mini class for you? Did one of the veterans just tell you that? How'd you do that?
Yeah, we talked about it, and over the course of the season, especially when they meet at home plate, they literally go over the ground rules. After a while, you start talking through it. And as a visitor, we'd have to be reminded a lot, and I knew it as a home player, but once I was with the Phillies, they would just keep reminding you because it's a big mistake.
Hey guys.
That could be 4 bases. I mean, originally was a really challenging outfield because you're dealing with the elements, a lot of sun, the wind, brick wall, ivy, slow grass a lot. I mean, you just have a lot of factors to consider as an outfielder. So you have to communicate. You can never give up on a ball. You don't know about the ricochets. You have to be in complete sync as an outfielder.
The second, they'll only get one here in Gregorius. Is out 4-3, 2 down. Second and third, 2 out. The wind, evidently, at first pitch was intriguing to StatCast. This is the wind speed at any given location above the field by StatCast and the direction along with it.
Right. Like, where is it going? I mean, above where the flags might be, you see the red arrows maybe, but then some lower ones are going in a completely different direction. So, your best evidence is on the field. And you have to take your own pulse, the barometer, and understand the wind, and really, most importantly, never give up on a ball because it might change direction. And back each other up. I'll tell you, as many times as it hits that wall behind the ivy, it could ricochet any direction. So it's a lot of important to back up and communicate.
Boy, it sounds like just charming to play the outfield at Wrigley Field.
Yeah, I mean, and some of the shallow parts of the field, you got to know your infielders. I played with Sean Dunston. I mean, he's going to run out there until he stops. If he's in the warning track, he's not going to stop until you stop him. So I learned a lot about calling off infielders and communicating that way, too.
Herrera swings through strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Phillies tonight have 4 home runs. 3 from Brad Miller. A 2-run homer from Didi Gregorius. And the Cubs are in danger of losing their 12th in 13 games. The 11-game losing streak. They won yesterday against these Phillies. And now the Phillies 3 outs away from taking this series. And it would be their first 4-game series road win since Miami 2017. Not for Billy Joel.
I mean, these streaks are tough. I mean, as I mentioned, 97, we lost 14 in a row to start the season. And, we have, fights on the bus, on the plane. I mean, it devolved. So, you just, and we lost a lot of close games. And, we faced Glavine, Smoltz, Maddox, Kevin Brown. I mean, it was a cavalcade of Hall of Famers and Cy Young.
Fights on the transportation, were you?
No. I just tried to break it up. It's tough for some here.
When your friends say, come over, we're having a beer, the correct answer is, I'm already here.
Don't you think? Definitely.
90 calories, 3 grams of carbs. Miller Lite.
Make your getaway in the all-new Volkswagen Taos. See the city in a whole new light. Or change course entirely. Because even the best laid plans need an escape plan. Whatever your adventure, the all-new Taos is always game. Volkswagen.
I just don't want to be underprepared, It's bringing me essentials. Yeah, I'm holding the vacuum cleaner.
Cars have been there for us. Let's be there for them. Respect your ride. Choose Esso's new Synergy Supreme, the premium fuel that keeps your engine 3 times cleaner for more kilometers per tank.
We've come a long, long way together. Through the hard times and the good. I have to celebrate you, baby. I have to praise you like I should.
This year's MLB All-Star Weekend comes to Coors Field in Denver. A huge weekend for baseball's biggest and future stars. It all starts Sunday. The Futures game, 3 Eastern, noon Pacific on MLB Network. MLB Draft on ESPN, 7 Eastern, 6 Central, 4 Pacific. Then Monday, T-Mobile Home Run Derby, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, 5 Pacific, headlined by Shohei Ohtani and the defending champ Pete Alonso. And then Tuesday, the All-Star Red Carpet Show is at 3 Eastern on Major League Baseball Network, with the 91st All-Star Game at 8 on Fox. A whole parade of fun All-Star Weekend stuff as Ranger Suarez is out of the bullpen for the Phillies to try to find the final 3 outs tonight.
Guys, don't forget to subscribe to my friend X Game 6000. He posts a lot of awesome stuff like
because the command is there and he's keeping hitters off by only having 14 hits allowed in 31 2/3 inning. And so
he posts a lot of stuff, like a lot of games. You know. So don't forget to subscribe to his channel and my channel.
44 against his sinker with a 136 slugging percentage. That's the pitch he throws most. So, you and I have, in part seriously and in part jokingly referred to this as the Glanville Bowl tonight, with your 2 teams that you played for twice on the field together. Your other team that you played for was the Texas Rangers, and it's perfect that Ranger Suarez is in the game to finish the deal.
Welcome back.
I also did not comb or cut my hair, so I had a size 8 helmet, up from 7 3/8 for my entire career. And then I got traded to the Cubs in 03 later that season, and Dusty Baker told me to either twist it or cut it, but you cannot continue having a tumbleweed on top of your head. So I did, much to the chagrin of Rocco Baldelli and Greg Zahn, who loved my hair, but I just had to cut it. I didn't have time.
What did Dusty like about it?
Because I wasn't neat. He said if you did something with it, but I kind of just let it. It was going in all directions. I just didn't care at that point. 2003, veteran, traded, whatever. So, it also got hurt that year coming back from a rehab assignment. So, I was just letting it all go, man. You have to do that once in a while in baseball. Just let it go. This year, I'm just not shaving. That's it. Whatever happens, happens.
You're over it?
Yeah.
Well, you got to change it up somehow, right? I mean, this can be a slog when you're playing.
Yeah, I mean, it's superstitions.
Right now?
I mean, I wasn't super superstitious, but I remember there was a book called Magic Eye, the 3D thing, and you stare at it, and the 3D image kind of pops up. I did that for like 30 days, and no one could get me out. And then finally, I stopped hitting, and Matt Franco, my teammate, said, I think you used all the hits up in that book, so it's time to check it back into the library. So, whatever works, man, I use it.
That's strike 3. We're going to go to the studio one more time and see what Shay has for us.
All right, Jason, Reds and Brewers here. Game was tied up at 3 apiece in the 8th until Avisail Garcia hit that 420-plus speed at the 2-run homer. Garcia now has 3 ribbies on the night. The Brew Crew up 5-3, bottom of the 8th inning. Earlier today, A's and Stros, top of the first here, scoreless game. Runner on third, Matt Olson. He's going to hit a ground rule double to left. That's going to bring in 1. And the Athletics go on to win 2-1 against the Astros on a day when Carlos Correa and Altuve say they will not participate in the All-Star game. Back to you.
Yeah. They clean it up, Matt Olson. You're not in the ground rule double derby. Let's go. I honestly can't believe that you
Smash the like button, guys.
And it worked. I was unstoppable in periods of AAA that year. And then I used all the hits up, and that was it. I got ice cold.
You were like the smartest guy I know, like the most analytical guy I know, and you grabbed a Magic Eye book from a bookshelf and said, "This is going to help me here."
Desperate times require desperate measures. So I just grabbed it on. Otherwise it was that or eating at the Waffle House or something. So I was like, I didn't want to do that too often as much as I loved it. So Magic Eye it was.
Hey, look, the Cubs with one more strike, with the Brewers leading as they are. Cubs could be 9.5 back as we close play today. And again,
Welcome.
time's ticking.
Can I have a model?
Well, that's your point.
What do you mean, bro?
Teams, we see the Cardinals there. When you start having to leapfrog a lot of teams, it's so much harder to gain the ground. You have to knock everybody out. And,
What do you mean, bro?
That's a tall order. And these games, they had a very tough June schedule. And they performed really well till the end. But
Can I have a model? What do you mean, like?
Brewers and so on. So they had a tough schedule. There's a barometer.
I'm only in your Discord, probably.
And now, they're hoping that a favorable schedule will help them possibly right the ship.
I think
Super high. I mean, super high.
I think I'm only in your Discord, I think.
The last week of June and into early July.
Yeah, that fourth place flag may shift to the third place flag.
Yep.
Guys, right now it's still 8-0. Phillies in the bottom of the ninth with 2 outs, 3 balls, 2 strikes on.
Where he hasn't gotten a whole lot of playing time. So he's known for his power, and he's been a kind of steady addition to any team as a
Monitor for you.
catcher, and sometimes a
Can I have a monitor for you?
Robinson Chirinos made his major league debut.
Can I have a monitor for you?
For Tampa Bay, and the opposing manager was
by telling people to like and subscribe, guys, like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Can I have a model for your channel? Like a model, like right now I'm using my laptop. Like, right.
playing against the team I loved growing up, the Phillies. So always remember that one.
Like,
This is it. Yes, look at the shape. Like, no facial hair on it. Yeah, trying to kind of get it in there. And inside out in it, it's a right field. Yeah, what is the exit velo on that? Can we check that? Okay. 78.
If you want to check on it.
This is my laptop.
Jim Eisenreich in right field, picking it out.
The gangs of New York stash. I mean, come on. This is 96 baseball, 1990s.
I love the batting stance too.
Smash, guys, smash our like button, boys.
I used to have like a lock my front leg and worked pretty well. I had a good run going on there from Des Moines, Iowa, AAA, Iowa Cubs. But yeah.
You mean like model like tell people to like subscribe like my laptop?
With like Sosa, Sandbergs in the world, you're just like, wow, this is real.
How nervous were you in that first at bat?
Yeah, my first at bat was at Wrigley. I went over in Wrigley.
That's right, the day before, right? And
it was freezing. It was super cold. It was like June 9th. But coming to Philly at the vet, it was another nerve. Like, just to piece it together. This is the stadium I watched as a kid growing up, and favorite team, and I'm playing against them now. That was wild, mind blowing.
Strike 3 called, and that will do it. So the Phillies will close within 4 in the NL East with this 8-0 win over the Cubs. Doug, it is always an absolute pleasure to share baseball with you.
Thanks, Jason. Really a pleasure to work with you, and thanks to the audience for indulging me on 2 teams in my history. So thank you for letting me tell the stories.
Great fun. For Doug Gladwell, Jason,
Can you spell a pack of? Can you spell? Can you spell a pack of? I don't drink Pepsi. I drink 7-Up or Sprite. I don't drink Pepsi no more. No. I don't drink Pepsi no more. So guys, we're now guys. I think the first one. So hopefully we will subscribe. Say fans, everybody to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.